What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. Reserved for the best. It's super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. What up? Salute, sixth element of hip hop. I'm your host, Reno Noir. This is my co-host, Stu Dog. We got guests in the building. We got Black Heroes Club, and my man Raw Talk is back. What's good, y'all? What's good?
What's happening?
Yes, we in the house. Yes, Corey Adger.
Slade Adger, salute. Slade Wilson, Corey Adger, what's up?
Peace.
What's up? You guys?
Hey, Slade is always here, bro.
Oh yeah,
Slade ain't no joke.
That's one thing I know. That's a true blue right there. Herbert Carpenter too. Salute Corey Adger. You know what I'm saying? These are the squads. That's
Corey
the mod squad right there.
Yeah, Corey Adger is another one that's always here. Yeah, that's another.
Big Herb. Or sixth elemental.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, we do have a cool show. We got a lot of things to talk about. It is DC Power Hour, as you guys know, on Saturday, and we do have a lot of cool DC comics things to talk about. DC movies, DC, actual comics and all that stuff. But we also got some hip hop issues to talk about, some hip hop things, because we do hip hop and comics over here. Corey Adger, salute with the super duper chat off top. We appreciate it always. Yeah, man. And word up, salute. And we got Spawn, the reboot. Some news about that, which I haven't heard about the Spawn reboot in a while. They are making a new Spawn movie. They loosely talked about it here and there, but the ToddFather has given us some solidity, some solidarity on some of the casting. So we know for sure who's gonna play Spawn, and there's a character that we now got confirmation is not only in it, but the actor who's playing him, and I think both things are dope. Yeah, so we got some cool shit going on. But
hey, for
Jay,
Spawn, is Tom McFarlane doing that? Is he dealing with that?
Oh yeah, that's his baby.
All right, so I know a guy. I'm speaking out of turn here, but I know a guy who just now did an interview with him on his podcast.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, and like me and the guy are cool, I wonder if he might give me some secrets or some inside stuff about what he plans on doing with it.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, we've talked to Todd, and Todd's been on our show. We've interviewed him. Well, not me. I haven't interviewed him directly, but Al Mega interviewed him on the Comic Crusaders podcast. Shout out to Al Mega Whippa, my homie right there. Yeah, he interviewed Todd, I think twice. He might have talked to him, but yeah, we that would be dope, man. If you can get some insight, that'd be cool. But it's Todd. He's talking about the casting right now of obviously the main character being Jamie Foxx, Spawn. However you may feel about that, I don't know. Some people they don't get it.
Did you guys see him in Power? Jamie Foxx in Power?
Well, I think Jamie Foxx has some serious chops. I think he's really talented as far as his range, right? All kinds of characters. He can play goofy ass characters. He can play serious motherfuckers. He can play nerdy motherfuckers. He can play villains, right? So we've seen him do it all. And I think one of the biggest things that for me was one of the biggest things I kind of was not salty about, but kind of let down, a little disappointed, was that the actors in the movie Spawn, like the guy that played Spawn, he was a B movie actor. He's largely
Wait, Michael White?
Michael Jai White, right? Yeah, he's not an A-list actor by any means. But it was cool to see him in the movie and all of that. I mean, He's a martial artist, but
Well,
Michael
yeah, I
Jai
don't
White,
consider him like an
not
A
A-list.
artist, but like
No.
I like put him up there at least top 15 favorite actors.
No, he might be your favorite actor. I'm just saying he's not A-list, right? He's not a top tier
All
actor
right,
like
so
a
he's not
Jamie
Will
Foxx.
Smith.
Right. He's not a top tier, leading man. It kind of, I felt like Spawn, and maybe Spawn wasn't big enough yet at the time. I think it was, but I think Spawn is definitely more solidified now and definitely deserves a bigger name. Not throwing no shade at my man Michael Jai White. That's the homie right there. Big fan of Michael Jai White.
He did what's that
martial
one?
artist. Well, he played Tyson. He played a bunch of shit. Like
He was in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not taking nothing from Jai White.
And
but
he's
you know what I'm
Dynamite. God damn it. He's Black Dynamite.
Yes.
Yeah, he is Black Dynamite.
Yeah. Black Dynamite is
So we're boosting them up back to A.
right there.
All right, cool. We can
we're not shooting. Yeah. No shade on Michael Jai White. No shade. But I was just saying, I think it's cool that Spawn is now getting a top tier A-list like Jamie Foxx in the role. The next, what do you call? I mean, okay, 16 years have passed since the creator, since Todd McFarlane announced that he was going to make sure that a new Spawn movie was going to be made, right? And even if he had to produce it, direct it himself, finance it himself, he said it's gonna happen. I'm not a fan of Blumhouse at all. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm just not a fan of like that kind of shit. But a lot of people love Blumhouse. Blumhouse Productions has done a lot of shit with horror. They're mainly a horror productions company, but they do that kind of shit. And it's been helping Todd McFarlane develop the project since 2017. Now, I'm kind of like, I'm not like super happy that Blumhouse is making this movie. Just because, like I said, I feel like Blumhouse, it kind of, it's like, yeah, we're giving Jamie Foxx, but it's Blumhouse. I kind of see Blumhouse as a lower tier productions company. It's certainly not new, Paramount or whatever the fuck, right? But
well, I mean,
what do you think?
I think they're dope. I mean, they did
they're dope. They're dope.
They did Insidious, The Red Door. I'm looking at their site now, and I just wanted to see. They did the Black Klansman. They did Megan. They did Bloodline, The Black Christmas, Best Night Ever.
Didn't they do Krampus too?
Dark Skies, Creep.
Might have.
Krampus.
Oh, they did Dark Skies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of cool.
They did Get Out.
Get Out.
They did Get Out. Okay, yeah, they can
Get
do
Out.
it.
Damn.
Yeah, they
cool.
They can do it.
They did Halloween. Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Then they can do it. Cool.
Yeah, they're like I said, they're a big horror movie production company.
They.
So Spawn, now Spawn being a horror movie is a dope way to do this. Obviously Spawn is all about hell and demons and dark alleyways, and I mean, if anybody's seen the Spawn animated show on HBO, with my homeboy playing Spawn, that's a dope casting. But I think he's too old to play Spawn. I think he's just too old. But Jamie Foxx has been attached to play Spawn since 2018. Now, the other casting that I thought was a dope surprise is not only because of the actor, but the character. So Jeremy Renner plays Hawkeye in the Avengers and plays a bunch of other shit. Jeremy Renner, the guy just got crushed on his
I think it was a tractor or something.
The snow machine, snowplow.
Yeah.
Snowplow. And So, but he's healing. He said he's getting back to his tip top shape and all of that. But he said he'll be ready to do the movie when it's time. But he's playing Detective Maximilian Williams the third, aka Twitch.
Ooh, okay.
So
I can see
Sam and Twitch, yeah, Sam and Twitch are a dope, like a cool duo in the Spawn universe.
Mhm.
They've got their own mini series. They've definitely branched out and become big fan favorites, big cult fan favorites. So it's very dope that not only Twitch is going to be, and I don't know if it's Sam and Twitch or it's just Twitch, but the fact Jeremy Renner's playing it, it's going to be a decent sized role. You know what I mean? Like, so that's dope. That's telling me, okay, what this tells me, is that this is not just a surface level Spawn origin story that we've seen 100 times in every fucking medium already. No. This is going to be a deep Spawn, you know what I mean? Deep within the lore. We've got Twitch, you know what I'm saying? There, the fact that Twitch is in there, is telling me that we're already way past the origin story.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a more, I'd say, more comic accurate, at least taking more from the comics. You know, it doesn't have to be a big budget CGI, craziness, right? They can do a lot of great filmmaking with just fucking shadows and lighting, and it doesn't have to be, because if you guys remember the original movie, I mean, the cape was CGI all over the fucking place, which was so dope. Because remember, in the comics, that cape is a fucking entity of its own, right? His cape is not, you know what I'm saying? Shout out. Don't forget about Fantastic Four casting. Oh, we're gonna get there Monday. We're definitely getting good. We definitely gonna talk about that weird ass casting for Fantastic Four. Fucking weird. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that Monday for sure.
But yeah, Kate.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, what'd you say?
I said the cape you was talking about.
Oh yeah, the cape. The
Yeah.
cape is like I said, it's an entity of its own. And in the movie it was definitely had its own CGI budget, right? It was all over the screen, which was really cool that they were able to do that because it is such a giant entity in the comics. I mean, it takes up the whole page, it'll fill page spreads and all of that. And you've all seen
Doctor Strange and his cape.
Yeah, it's like in the sense that it's,
but Blumhouse or Blumhouse, however you pronounce it,
mhm.
they're gonna do right by it because you look at all their films, they're specialists at gore,
right?
And with Spawn, it's gonna get gory with Spawn. It's definitely gonna get gory with him.
That's dope.
I think they got to track even with the purges. If you want that maniac type of violence that he supplies, they did all the purges. So
yeah.
I think it's in great hands. So
I do. I agree. Yeah, and I'm not like that's kind of what I was getting at. It's like it doesn't have to be a big giant big budget blockbuster with all the CGI and craziness. Like it could be a dope Blumhouse horror flick, right? It could be, they can use that dope storytelling and creativity that they always do.
Effects, yeah.
Yo, Black Heroes, you what was that question you had right before we came on? Did you remember that question you asked us all?
So what do you guys plan on doing with your collection? God forbid, if anything were to happen to you, for example, me, I have all these, not all, but like I have like maybe 200 comic books. My wife's not into them. Maybe my kids might like them. But if my wife were to say, hey, I want to sell these, or even give it to, Stu Dog, like, hey, he used to hang out with Stu Dog. Here's his comics. Here's his milestone. Like, what are your guys' plan with your collection?
Well, that's a good question, man, because and it's funny you said the way you said, because that's what I would do. I got a homeboy that he's got a massive collection. It's nothing like mine I'm a peon, bro. His shit is, he's got a basement. He's been on the show. His name's Masher. He's been on the show a bunch of times. He's got a crazy collection with all kind of like signed Stan Lee memorabilia and like really dope shit. And he said, because he almost got shot one night. He's a paramedic and he works, you know, like on the scenes and shit. And called me. He was kind of shook, and I don't think he'll mind me telling this story, but he was like, "Yo, if anything happens to me, dog, like, I want you to promise me that you'll help my wife sell my stuff because she'll get hosed. She'll, you know, she doesn't know what's what. Collectors will fucking run all over it, bro. You know, and all of our wives, like, you know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't know what to do with the stuff, you know? So I think that is the best idea right there, Black Heroes Club. That's what I think you should do is you should find a homeboy, somebody that you trust, like a brother, that's gonna help your wife sell your shit because she won't be able to sell it. She'll sell it, but someone's gonna rip her off. You already know.
Now I was asking for, like, I guess a business idea. I was trying to see what it would take to start up a collection agency, like not a collection agency, a collection insurance agency. Well, where you can either buy insurance or, like, for example, our wives don't know, like, our wives know that we're here, but our wives don't know each other. So how would my wife know if something were to happen to me tomorrow to give it to you guys? Like, there would have to be some sort of will and testament or, you know, a binder with all the information, or even like a social media app where everyone can kind of like find a comment, you know, an app where, you know, you can register. Of course, it'd be for free. You know, you register. And it would be like a platform where you can create your own insurance, you know, for your comic collection.
Well, Geico insures your collection now. They have various places where you can get your stuff insured. You can look into it. And,
that's different.
That's if in case of fire, damage, what have you. But in my personal opinion, I would first off list everything you have. Then in your will, have a nice will, but in that will say, hey, refer to this for prices and values. By the time I pass, maybe it's up 10%. So
everything's gonna change. Yeah, it could change in any number.
10%,
yeah, like imagine somebody having static issue number 1, and right now it's worth 300, and like you guys are saying, you know, wifey goes and sells it for $10 because she doesn't know what she has.
Well, but see, setting up that insurance too. The problem with the insurance idea is because it sets a price, and the thing is I might die 10 years from now, I might die tomorrow. It doesn't matter, but that price is going to change a lot, and there's no way to be like, oh, it's going to be 10% or 5%. You have no idea what it could go up, and so the agency, I think, would be someone that you can trust that's going to, in the current market of whatever it is when you pass, you know, whatever the market value is, that agent, right? Your agent that you know you get assigned to or whatever is going to make sure your stuff gets sold at proper market value or whatever, because it would have to be.
That's why I was thinking about making it a free platform. And like, if I were to like get into it, I would just simply charge like to get all your collection, to notarize it, you know, to find people with like mindset. Like, I guess the agency would be free, or the insurance, it's not insurance. The platform would be free. And if I were to make money off of it, it would be in other avenues, if that makes sense. Or like even like Reno, he knows that like I'm doing the insurance thing, so he may give me 30% of his collection if something were to happen.
Yeah, well, all that can be worked out in your will and testament, honestly, because that's the only way where everything is definitive. You'll have a lawyer or an executor handle whatever you need handling, you know, on behalf of the family. And you can have your wife or whoever, surviving relative that, you know, would take on, you know, your will after that. I mean, that's the best thing you can do. I mean, insurance companies, just in case fire damage or something like that, or theft, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you're living. You know, your shit can go up in flames. Hey, price it out. Make sure it's worth the value so you can get that money back, you know. But the will is the best way to go. You take the time, you price out all your items, your number 1s to your number 10s or whatever. You price it all out, at the current market rate for what it is now. There's no way to anticipate decrease or increase. So my rule of thumb is whatever it's worth now, increase it by 10 to 15%.
When? In how much time?
After my death.
What if you die tomorrow, or what if you die in 20 years? It's same. It's 10% regardless.
Yeah.
What if you die? What if you die in 20
How
minutes?
is it 10% in 20 years and it's also 10% in one day?
Because it's when I pass, I'm gonna give my wife or whoever survives the better chance of making a deal. If that ever
I would.
But if you're adding 10% to the current market value today, say it's a $10 book, you add 10% to that. That's $10.10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, if I die in 20 years, that 10 cents is not. It's erroneous. It should be much more than 10% at that point.
I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it should be much more, but I'm not counting on dying right now. But
exactly.
But the 10%, it's based on your collection. You can do it each piece, or you can do your whole collection. Like collection is like $30,000 to $50,000 right now. 10% of that is $5,000, right?
When you're setting up a lawyer, you're setting up insurance. This is my thing. This is why I say what I'm saying, because a lawyer doesn't know shit about comics. They're not gonna fucking know about what the current market value. They're not gonna know about trends. They're not gonna know about, oh, this movie's about to come out and this comic who is an unknown character is about to be fucking huge. That lawyer's not gonna know that, and neither is your wife.
You need somebody like me.
You're gonna need your homeboy.
$15 a month.
That's what I'm saying, and you can't do it for free, because I'm not gonna trust somebody who is gonna be for free to sell my shit the right way, or put the effort in, that to really do the research and find out what it's really worth at the time.
With the 10% and 15%, you can always use that to cover your legal costs or whatever when you pass. But you have to find someone who's willing to buy your collection at the same time.
Oh yeah, your wife has to sell it.
Because piecing it out is not going to be in the best interest of who you're leaving all of this stuff to, because they're not going to have the wherewithal to want to sell. Somebody come up on Macari or whatever, however they want to sell it, they want to get the whole thing out one bunch, estate sale. Period.
That's why you need a homeboy, a brother, someone you trust.
Well, we all the same age.
Right.
We all can go at the same time.
But hey,
know, man. So it's like, but
that's the beauty of living in different states.
Yeah,
we probably won't all die, but at the same time. But no, it's obviously in a perfect world, it'd be great if you had somebody, a homeboy, a brother that could take your shit and help you make sure that it gets sold right. Now, if you don't have that, it would be good to have some sort of thing in place that you could use to properly, and that is the problem. I mean, you're not going to get market value unless you got that homeboy. I don't care what you set up with percentages and none of that. You're going to lose money if you don't have a homeboy or somebody to go and really do it right.
That's a good point. So like something that I would try to do is, instead of, like you were saying, do the auction. I mean, sell it in bulk. So instead of trying to sell it single, I would either, like if I found out about it, I would sell it to the platform, like the little platform, and I would sell them in bulk, or I would sell it in singles on the platform. That way you wouldn't have to go to Macari, or you wouldn't have to have a garage sale. You would simply, like, if something were to happen to you, you call the company and the company says, we got you. We already have, 10 people that are interested, 10 buyers. All we ask is you ship it all to us, and then we'll split it up and take 10% off the top.
This is after you're dead?
Yeah, after you die.
So how are you doing all this dealing and willing if you're dead?
yeah.
Well, that's where the will and testament comes in. Like the will direct you to Black Heroes Club, insurance agency.
You're talking about a bulk amount, like you got a whole piece. See, that's the problem. Even if you're doing a bulk price, you still got to go through your collection, see what everything's worth, come up with a price. Okay, but that's the price now. Today's price is not yesterday's price. Fat Joe has told us that.
Okay, so that's it. All right, that's a good
alternative. Here's the other alternative. I'm sorry. All right. you know, everybody got their life insurance. All right, you got your life insurance or what have you. So your family's taken care of if you have your life insurance. You're good, right? They get the money they do. Now, your collection is a separate thing. Why not in your will say, yo, my collection, the nearest comic shop or toy store, you go there to sell the collection. If they're buy, sell, and trade, you go there to sell a collection at a reasonable price.
They're
That's
not going to give you. They're not going to give you. That's why I came up with that thought too. I was in a comic book store yesterday. Somebody came in with a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and they were like, "We don't want them, or we'll give you 50 cents a page." You know, and it's like, come on, bro, because they have to, and respect. They have to flip and resell and stay in business too. But their overall capital is going to be a lot higher than your homeboys. So if you're able to say, hey, send all my stuff to my homeboy, and then the homeboy knows the platform or follows all your friends, then he can say, you know, hey, Real Deal died, or I'm sorry, I got to forget. Real Deal passed away. He passed on. You know, to all his friends, I have his collection here. I asked for, you know, a small donation or whatever to help support his family and to help support the merchandise.
I don't know. I just say, yo, you know, if I say my collection and I priced it out as 50 grand, and I tell my sons, this is the other thing of having kids, let them know the deal because they're closest in youth. They're the survivors. You know,
well, hopefully, if you got kids, they don't have to sell your collection.
No,
if everything is going right, the ideal thing, bro, is to not have to sell your shit, right? Obviously, is to pass it on to your kids. Let them fucking pass it to their grandkid and their grandkid, and one day that shit is worth $1 million. You know,
and that's cool.
You got to know your kids. I mean, there you go.
That's cool. But how many, like, for those that don't have kids, or those that maybe have daughters that aren't into it, or maybe even if they have sons that, hey, dad, I'm just not into it. You know, so like you wouldn't have to. So the point of the platform,
so that's why you got to have a homeboy that knows the shit.
Yeah, but like you don't have to sell it. Yeah, you don't have to sell it. You can just simply, you know, either donate it, or you can say, hey, I don't want to give up this collection. Nobody would even know that you passed on until you know, contacted the agency.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, man. You know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's one of those things, man. I guess it depends on, you know, your own how you want to do it, man. Your own preferences and whatnot.
Or you can just say fuck it and just say, hey, put all my toys in my casket, burn me in that motherfucker, and that's it.
I'm taking it with me. I'm taking it with me.
Or burn me all with it.
I'm taking it with me.
Y'all joking, but somebody did actually have that happen to them, or happen with them. They had all their toys or like all their collection buried with them. I mean, the Egyptians do it.
Why not?
I'm digging that bit. Hey, where's that Superman #1?
Why can't we get a mausoleum and put all your shit in there?
Yeah. Hey, but look, Stu Dog's been quiet, man. Like, what do you think?
No, I'm gonna tell you, Stu's quiet because Stu got a question too. Stu, when we was before we started the show today, what was you talking about that I said save it for the show? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
can roll into that. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We can roll into that.
Yeah, let's roll into that, man. I really don't feel like talking about collections when we die right now.
I feel you.
My bad. My bad.
Word.
Yeah, because I just had a friend that died, and you know,
yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, it just ain't for me.
I wasn't even thinking about it. Yeah, I'm sorry, dog.
Man, sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, I knew better. I was not even thinking about that, bro. I swear to God, I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, but it's you know it's fun to hear. If you know my answer for the whole thing is just short and sweet. I'm gonna leave it to my kids, and they can do whatever they want with it. I'm dead. It don't make no difference to me after that. You know, I would rather for my sons to have it and do what they want with it. You know, or divvy it out or whatever. You know, at least it's gonna mean something just as much to them as it did to me. So that's where I'm at with it. But for some hip hop news, Kanye. Yes, moving on hip hop news. Kanye West. You're not gonna believe this.
Yeezy.
So hold on to your britches. Kanye West dropped the album. I think it was on the 10th, called Vultures.
Trash.
With Ty Dolla $ign. It debuted at #1 and was up there on the charts at #1. on the Apple Music charts, which right now, I guess with the way Apple rolls, is the formidable and forward moving and ultimate music chart in the world right now. And they took it down. They took it down and put
Is
up
that because of
Chris
the Black
Brown.
Sabbath?
Nah. It wasn't even because of that.
Uh,
They took it down and then they put up Usher's music as
sure.
number one
Super
and
Bowl.
promoted
for the
his new
Super Bowl.
album. Put his new album up there, promoted all his music and his new album. Kanye West was seen in an airport. They asked him about it. And the interview I saw on TMZ, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. He told the truth. He said basically, they tried to say it was a sampling deal, and then they tried to say it was a distribution deal that went bad. But Kanye West said that not only did they pull it, but Spotify pulled it, all streaming platforms pulled it,
You know about the
everything, and they said
sampling.
that
You know about the
yeah, we know about the
sampling.
sampling. Yeah, yeah. But he said that wasn't the case. He said it had nothing to do with the Donna Summer or the Black Sabbath, none of that. Because what Kanye would do is he'll get somebody to come on and reproduce that sound that he's trying to get live. He'll get somebody to come and do it live. So therefore he bypasses the sampling by doing that if he can't get clearance. He said that basically he was, railroaded for his anti-Semitic remarks. And some of the other things that happened to him over there. But he also went on and said that he apologized. He said, I apologize. I said, he said, I didn't. And he said, I didn't know that you couldn't say stuff like that in public. He said, I was having an adult conversation that a lot of kids heard and other people that couldn't take it. And they ran with it and they blackballed me for it. So he put his album on his own website, which the album is still selling off the charts on his own website. Once they saw that it was still selling and people were still actively looking for it, it magically reappeared back on Apple Music, Spotify, and all streaming platforms. So then he goes and tells them, like, listen, they can't stop the train. He said that streaming is not for musical artists and that the streaming platforms, they get 90% of the money. He said they have like a budget of what they split between all the artists. So he said they might have $500 million. And they'll say we'll split $500 million between the hottest artists right now. So he said him, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and maybe Jay-Z and Drake will get, we'll split that between y'all. Like we have a budget of what we're gonna give y'all. But he said that's not fair because he's saying that if they're streaming the music 24/7 and people are playing, I should get paid something off of every time that song is played, just like they get something off of every time the song is played. He also went on to say how Adidas and the rest of them were trying to steal his clothing ideas and how they couldn't sell them. And then he put those same clothing ideas on his site and they sold. Yes, and they sold off the charts. So he was saying that right now for him, the best thing is to be independent, to be successful, because he's saying that it's paying off for him, like right now. And he said, he even went on again and apologized again for his anti-Semitic remarks or whoever he offended. And he told him, like, listen, I'm gonna try to do it independent now, because he said that's where my most success is coming from right now. Oh, and Apple also put it back up. Didn't put it back up as a whole album. You know how they do that partial album thing, and then you got to buy each and every one song on there. So that's what they did. Yeah, $1.20 a song, which would be more than what you would. Yeah, which you would. It would be. So he had 16 songs at $1.20 a song. That's that's $16. That's more than $10 for the album.
Yeah, but peep game though that he bought $7 million commercial spot at the Super Bowl to promote
it, and it paid off.
And his clothes, right?
He said that made him raw talk. He said that he said he was 2 months. He said he was 2 months. He said when he bought that ad, he was 2 months from being bankrupt. He said it paid off for him because he said now he's made his money back quadruple. He said he's about $500 million richer now.
Yep.
Said, wow.
And check it out. Everything that he sold on his site was pre-order.
Woo! Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
Yes. I'm like,
yes.
That's genius.
Hey Corey.
That's genius, man.
Hey, he thinks he was the black Donald Trump. Real.
He
He do.
actually is at this point.
He
At
actually
this
might
point,
be.
At this point,
he
Uh,
might be. Yeah.
how you gonna
I
put
mean, but let me just say one thing though. The album Vultures, hot garbage. If you're
I haven't listened to it yet.
if
Bro,
you're
that sounds like generation talking right there, bro.
I know it
Sounds
sure
like
does, but I'm
my
telling you,
grandpa said,
it's
"Oh, I
trash,
don't
bro.
like rap."
It's trash.
but
I can compare that music to his original, like his first probably 4 or 5 albums, dog. And what I mean is like, yeah, okay, you can say I have no. I'm not a generational. Like my son is 19. I listen to all his music, like not all his music, but a lot of his music is dope to me. So, I have no problem with like, thank you, Corey, with contemporary music. Contemporary music is if it's done well, it's done. But honestly, I felt like his album was it's just a lot of like unfinished. It seems like unfinished, half made. It seems like something Kanye of, the back in the day would have looked at as, rough drafts or cutting room floor shit. Like this is not something he would have produced and put out. But to that, that is sort of the style nowadays. I mean, that's the style now. It's very,
experimental.
made on your cell phone. It's got not a lot, but hey, it's you have to like that vibey, singy, auto-tuney, updatey, new type of music. It's not hip hop, by any means, but it's music, I suppose. For me, like a song has like a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's verses, there's hooks, there's a bridge.
It's formulated.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Hey, our
components
boy
to it.
Slade said it was dope.
Slade said, "I thought Vultures 1 was dope." Is that the first track? Vultures 1? I think
No,
that's
the album's called Vultures One. That's the name. Yeah,
I
Vultures
thought the
One.
album was called Vultures. Oh, okay,
No,
my
it's the
bad.
one it's the
No,
one
he
at the
got
end.
he got a part 2 coming.
Yeah, part
No,
two
For
is
the
coming
summer.
because you.
For the summer.
I couldn't
Now
get with it,
part
Slade. I couldn't.
yeah.
I tried.
Now
I
part
listened to
twos
it.
and
It's not for
ones
me.
for Kanye. You guys got to remember when Kanye puts out music, he's really Kanye's really indecisive, and it's never good enough. So he'll put it out, and people like it. Then he'll be like, I like it, but I think I could, I could do this better. So
He's
if
very
to him in
experimental
his
too.
mind, he's his worst He's his worst critic
Now,
because he's always judging it, and then he's always fixing it. Like when he put out Life of Pablo, we could never get a complete album because he kept changing it, and then he would put it out, and then he kept changing it, and then Apple just finally just was like, look, dude, you passed the deadline. Whatever you got, that's what we putting out, and that's the album.
well,
And there's like 3 different versions of that album out there right now.
with Kanye, what I learned from him and about him, it's when he did his first production, it was to hear it in the car because everybody was listening through cars. Then it was through the headsets. This is how he was operating, just like Dr. Dre. They do the same exact thing. These guys, these great producers.
Yeah.
This
He
time,
produced for what people listen on.
yes, but this time Kanye is producing to hear in stadiums, how it would sound in a stadium.
I thought you was gonna say on a phone.
No,
That's
no,
how
no.
his music sound, like a phone to me.
Phone is what have
It's
you.
not. It don't sound big like I would think a stadium sound would be big and like orchestral and shit.
But I think that's what
Shit sound like a mobile game.
doing. What he's doing and how he's coinciding his shit is with his runway shows. He's really putting his whole world in a certain order. Only because I could peep his game. He's creating his own bubble, and you motherfuckers is coming into his bubble, and you're gonna stay in that bubble with him. That's how he's thinking. Like, you coming into my bubble. Fuck these guys out here. I'm not in their system anymore. You're in my system, in my bubble now. This is what's going on. So
he did a release.
I'm not in this bubble.
He did an album release. He did an album release party in Vegas. It was a success. He also talked about his mental health issues. He said that he went and got re-diagnosed, and that he has a slight bit of autism due to his car accident, and that what they had diagnosed him with before, they were giving these drugs. They were making him gain weight. He didn't like it. He didn't like the way he felt. So he said that
Said he
you
got
know,
autism
he's
from a
not
car
on there.
accident.
He said he got slight autism from his car accident. That's what the man said. He also
Nah,
went on to say that
we not trashing Kanye, bro. Nah, not at all, bro. Kanye is a fucking
on my
genius,
favorite.
bro. Kanye is a fucking genius.
he
Understand
is. I
that.
give
He's
him
a
that
music
Oh, I
credit.
100%
genius.
agree.
Yeah.
Like a
Ever since
genius.
he dropped his first
we
album,
also have
not
to
a
acknowledge the
Jersey
fact
with
we also have to acknowledge the fact that Kanye has by definition a cult following. I mean, it doesn't matter anything else because a lot of artists want to
He's
work
got
with Kanye
he's
West.
got a real
A lot of art,
mainstream following.
yeah. Like let's not talk
I wouldn't
about the
even call
fans
it
and the
a
regular
cult following.
people. Let's talk about it's a cult following. Like Ghost and Ray got a cult following. Listen,
Mainstream following.
let me tell you something. It's a few artists that got a cult following. Rakim, Nas,
Cult following
Ghostface
because
Killer,
they don't have mainstream
Ghostface Killer.
following.
Wait, they do have a mainstream, but you talking about Ghostface Killer and Ray? They have a straight cult following. And Jay-Z, they have a Beyonce, Taylor Swift. They have a cult. Like they got mainstream people that love them, but they also have people that are totally 100% dedicated to what they do. That's their cult. So they got to please like two sides
Well,
of
those
their
are called
fans.
super fans. That's not like a cult. A cult following implies that it's only a small number of people. Like it's a niche thing. It's not mainstream.
What's that girl's
Well,
name?
niche. Well, but
Allspice?
niche in there, niche in there. You're right, Reno. But niche and cult following to them is huge. So
I know
they
what
have
you're
a
saying.
huge,
Like they got
they have a
diehard
huge
fans.
right? They got a huge cult following, right?
Followers like
Right. They got
Beehive and
diehard
shit
followers.
like
Oh yeah, and they have a cult following, but their cult following is very large.
like
It's
their
very
followers
large.
are like cult members, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they very large.
Say
Yeah.
Will Smith. I don't
like
think he
Kanye.
has one.
There are artists that want to work with Kanye.
Yeah.
Like when I say want to work with Kanye, like they dying to get a phone call.
Yeah. Oh,
like people was dying. Like back in the day, where people be like, "Yo,
Everybody.
Primo called me. We got to go." Yeah, I don't care if a joker's on the other side of the cross.
Kanye's on
Primo
some, like
called,
Michael called me. Like Michael called me. MJ called me.
or Primo, Michael, Dr. Dre. I don't care. You could be in outer space. Yo, Dr. Dre called. I gotta go make his album, dog. I'm sorry. I know I was supposed to negotiate peace between these aliens, but I gotta go.
Bro,
You
I
leaving.
think Kanye is
That's how it is.
outside of hip hop. I think he's outside of hip hop. I think he's like if Quincy Jones called me.
Look, check it out.
He be up there too, bro.
Kanye is an icon now.
Taylor Swift type shit. Like he's
beyond Taylor Swift. Remember, he's the one who interrupted her little.
He made her famous. Remember on the song
YouTube video.
Now remember he said that on the song. He said on the song Taylor Swift. Remember on his song what he said about Taylor Swift? I made that bitch famous. He did. He did make her famous. He ain't lying about that. He got up there, and even though he was right about what he said, he was wrong about how he did it.
I was like,
but he did make her famous.
No, I was like, hell yeah! I was like, hell yeah, when he did that shit. I loved it. I was a super fan of Kanye.
But you know what I look at Kanye now? I mean, he's an icon, but I like to see his strategy, how he moves in business. Because I mean, the music is. We already know he's a genius at music. I mean, he's in his creative phase. He's finding himself.
He fucked up with Adidas though.
Man, fuck Adidas, man. They
paid him a lot of money.
That was
they
paid
a lot of money.
That's a bill.
Adidas fucked up.
Adidas owed him more than $1 billion because Adidas gonna make more than $1 billion. Adidas gonna make more than $1 billion off of his merchandise, which means that they owe him more money. Which means he was actually really losing money with Adidas when he could have just put it all out himself. It's made in China anyway, so go to China, get it made, and bring it back and sell it.
Yeah, that's what Sway was telling him. But now he knows, and you know what I mean.
I mean, he's got Yeezys. You just make your own shit. Just make your own label and all that. But he knows that he needs.
So, but what I'm saying about the industry, I'm talking about comic book, movie, everything, the industry, and he lashed out against that industry, and he really didn't say anything wrong. It was the way he said it. He said it in a malicious manner to those who were receiving it the wrong, that way. You know what I'm saying? But we all know who's been in these industries. We all know who run these industries, these medias. I've been in the fashion industry, the music industry, and stuff like that. I know who runs shit. But the way he said it was like, okay, he's the top guy, but we can't have him influencing all these other guys to wake up and see what's going down. But it's happening anyway. You know what I'm saying? The shit is happening anyway. So that's why he's being scolded. Because, okay, if these guys are running the industry and all this negative stuff is coming out, who are they're allowing to come out and pushing it? Who's at fault here? The artist or the one who's financing the artist and telling the artist, you got to produce this type of music because we see these different stats that, hey, yeah, black folks like violent music. They like sexual music. We got to push this more. They don't like KRS-One. They don't like all this positivity. No, we can't have that. We got to have the negative because this is what they pump more. And the low vibrational beats is what they like. So we're going to push that more.
That's what they want. That's what they want to pump. That's what they want people to like. That's what they want black people to like.
Well, they have done it. If you look at the state of hip hop and how it was, I mean, through rap,
now, they have succeeded. Now it is that way. You're right. They fucking have succeeded. So, you fucking right.
So, but he said,
right, hey, let's keep it hip hop and comics, yo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's still in the hip hop realm. It's just now the way they shutting him down because he's showing people I can do this without the industry. I am the industry now. That's basically what he's telling everybody. I am my own industry.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
So moving on, the media also went on to say that Kanye, that nobody wanted to work with Kanye in the business industry as far as fashion and design, clothes, whatever, and nobody wanted to work with him in hip hop either, which was also false because when they went and asked artists would they work with Kanye, record companies might not have worked, but the artists were all 100% on board with doing something with Kanye, even if it was just buying beats and then putting the music out on their album themselves. But they want Kanye to do their albums. They want him to produce their albums. Yeah. They want him to do the sound. They want him to be the engineer. Like he does all that. They also were saying Kanye also was going on to say that being as now that he has his own, like he's putting everything out himself. Clothes, he's putting them out himself. Fashion, he's putting it out himself. Music, he said he's going to do it independently. He even went and put the music on his own website. The website was really, they said when they went on there, the album was still selling off the charts. He was selling the album for a reasonable price and people were buying it. He's selling on vinyl, he's selling digitally, he's selling CDs, he's getting the album out there, and the album is still, when they put it back on Apple Music, it's still #1. It went back to #1 on the charts, on the Apple Music charts. So my hat's off to Kanye. I like Kanye. I think a lot of stuff he does is dope. A lot of it's weird, but it's dope. But it's just him. That's just where he's at with his music now. Everybody's got a certain stage they get to in the music. Like Andre with the flute. Kanye's just on the weird side now. It's dope, but it's just weird. A lot of black, a lot of gothic. It's just gothic now. He's just has like a gothic sound that he has now. Like, and people love it.
I can't put it in my ride and bump to it, then I don't like it. If I can't put it in and just ride and like feel like every track is just I'm just bumping, like I don't know, man. It's like if I'm like, I gotta skip that. Nah, are they talking here? What is this? Is the song gonna start? Nah, you know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of weird, noise and shit. It's like, it does make you feel like the grumpy old man. But man, I want music, and I didn't hear a lot of music on the album. If that makes sense.
I didn't listen to
I'm
it
glad
yet.
that
I didn't hear a
you
lot of
saw
music.
that
I ain't listened
sounded
to it yet.
grumpy.
I heard a
Yeah, I
lot
ain't
of
listened to it yet.
sound, but I didn't hear a lot of music. I heard some music, but for the most part, it was a lot of experimentation, which is cool. But I'm not gushing over it, But it is what it is. I mean, and the reason, and listen, it's like I say, he's a genius, bro. So when he puts out something like that, maybe it's above my head. Maybe it's ahead of its time. Maybe I just don't know about it yet.
Maybe it just ain't. Maybe it just ain't for you. Maybe it just ain't for you right now.
It might not be for me right now.
And I'm trying, and I'm thinking about it. I haven't listened
maybe I'll
to
like
anything new since
in 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Maybe who knows?
What'd
you say, Black Heroes?
Yeah.
I haven't listened to anything new since COVID. Like,
Oh wow.
like anything new?
damn,
like,
where you been
I
at?
haven't sat
Damn,
down.
where you been at?
Well, that I've
Damn.
been with Kanye with
man.
like the song "Stronger" and what's the album with the little bear?
Oh wow, college dropout. Like
Yeah, like that's what I like. I love
registration.
all of Kanye's older stuff.
all the 3 college albums to me are classics.
Yeah, those 3 college. I liked
Classic.
everything. I liked everything until we got the black skinheads. I was like, damn. And then
But I like other
I
stuff.
didn't like that. And then I liked
them
the
first
stuff
3
after that.
crazy.
My Twisted Dark Fantasy, that was a hot album for him.
Hell yeah.
808s and Heartbreaks, that was super hot.
Hell yeah.
I can't lie and say it wasn't.
It had some cuts. It had
Yeah.
some cuts. Yeah.
But,
Well, the reason I wanted to bring up the hip hop, I mean, the reason that we sort of got into there because Jam Master Jay, his murder trial is going down, right? In the years before his death, Run DMC, DJ, Jam Master Jay secretly had turned to the drug trade to keep providing financially for his family, relatives, friends. I mean, you got to remember, our artists, meaning hip hop, our artists don't have the recurring royalties and accolades of, say, the rock and roll genre might or whatever. These elder statesmen in our genre, they don't be rich like the other artists do, and there's many reasons why that might be. That's not my point. My point is that because it's that way, not why it's that way. Like, we can talk about why, but because it's that way, he had to provide. And it's a shame that a fucking Run DMC had to sell drugs. That's a problem, right? There's something wrong there. But the point being that he did have to. But before he was killed inside his recording studio in Queens in 2002, in what prosecutors say was a drug deal gone bad, Jam Master Jay of the New York hip hop legendary icon Run DMC faced a predicament. The U.S. attorney, Miranda Gonzalez, he said the money wasn't coming in. He told the jurors in the federal trial in Brooklyn. There's 2 men charged with the murder, right? They know who killed him. They found the 2 guys. It was a big mystery for a while. Like, if you didn't know, you didn't know who killed him. But yeah, they got 2 guys. It's all come out and everything. But last month they basically started the trial. But basically, yeah, the prosecutor, the U.S. attorney said the money wasn't coming in, but people depended on him. Talking about Jay, and as Run DMC, which had led hip hop's mainstream explosion in the 80s, they were the first ones to cross over. Period. They were the first ones to cross over. They did a song where Aerosmith Walked This Way, and that was the first. That was the first hip hop crossover, right? That was the first, and they were the first ones to cross over. So that's the as they sort of receded from the charts, right? And sort of lost their status. Jam J, who was born Jason Mizell, struggled financially. But he has a lot of family. We know he's got a lot of family in Queens and Brooklyn. He's got a lot of people, a lot of family and friends that depend on him. And it's Run DMC. You're Jam Master Jay. Of course, my hand is out. Of course, but like, it's not in like a begging way. Like, you're Run DMC. Of course you got it. Of course you got it. We're not even talking about you. Just Run DMC. That's how everyone acts around him. And so in his mind, like, he don't want to be like, nah, man, really, I'm broke as fuck. Like, he don't want to do that. Who wants to do that? I'm Run DMC. Of course I got it, right? So that's the way I see, like, to try and justify having to make that move. People, because a lot of people, why would he do that? He's Run DMC. Why would he sell drugs? What an idiot. Nah, man, it's because he was in Run DMC that he sold drugs, right? But basically, a pioneering DJ, role model, because one thing about him though, he might have had to turn to selling drugs. He never glorified it. Stu, you ever know a Run DMC track where they talk about selling dope?
Not one.
They did one against drugs called Pause.
Right.
And the gun violence. I remember that distinctly.
I remember that one too.
Yeah.
They played it all in the like middle school or high school, middle school, and everything.
Yep. And he never glorified it. He never saw it as something to glorify. It was a fucking secret, like it should be. If you're selling drugs, it's supposed to be a fucking secret, right? You're not supposed to do songs about it and do music videos about it. It's supposed to be a fucking secret.
And a lot of people don't understand. A lot of these artists, the reason they become broke is because of the people around them, not because they can't do their finances and things like he had a lot of people depending on him. Then he had a lot of people who were leeching off of him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got homeboys that, all right, yeah, I'm in your entourage. Okay, you know, the live shows stop, man. I can't supply you anymore with anything. I can't get you into these places. The live shows, the tours stop.
Yeah.
So now you gotta find your own way. You can't just stay on my payroll anymore. You know what I mean? It's sad to say, but a lot of times you see who's who when you're on top,
right?
As they say. So I think that was his downfall with that. He even bought a studio in order so he can make some money. He tried to diversify by having his studio, because that was his studio. He didn't rent or anything. That was his studio. So he put a lot of money into that to start off something. That's why he was trying to do something with 50 Cent at the time too.
Yeah.
Because he was bringing 50 through Track Masters and all these other people. He came through, you know what I'm saying? So he was trying to diversify his money. I mean, Joe, he was doing the what you call it, the VH1 stuff, and then Daryl was doing the comic books and other signings and stuff like that. So he had to find his own way in doing something.
Shout out to DMC Comics.
Yeah, facts. And so it's like he was trying to do something, but it caught up with him because he tried to flip a few dollars. I don't think he was heavy into selling drugs. I think he was trying to take some of his money and flip it real quick to get back right so he can keep the studio going. That's
my studio. Keep the studio going, stuff like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I know some of the guys. I know
some of the
guys that know some of the guys that was in the crew. The BMF, the Black Mafia family, Big Meech. And that's who he was fucking with. And see, now he publicly campaigned against drug use, drug dealing, all of that. But you know, he led that double life, man. He led that secret life where he did that shit on the low, the way you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And according to the testimony and the trial records, he worked as a drug middleman while managing, intertwining public roles and, entertainer, record label owner, father of 3, financial lifeline to relatives, coworkers, friends, and he lent money to everybody that was around him. Michael Rapley, it says, one of the other 5 people in the Queen studio when Mr. Mizell was shot on October 30th, 2002, told jurors, when Mr. Rapley's mother died, Mr. Mizell paid for the funeral. So, he was that type of dude to do stuff in the neighborhood, in the community, not just his family. Like, he took care of everybody. Like, and he was that guy in the community, and he was a turntable artist who provided the scratches and the beats for Run DMC's music, and was still able to earn paychecks during the 90s and 2000s, doing shows and performing with, doing the concerts and all of that. But he spent more time in his studio, that the one on Merrick Boulevard in Queens, near Hollis, where he grew up, and first became famous, producing music by younger hip-hop acts and shit like that. Then he recruited to his label, JMJ Records, and trying to help them replicate his own breakthrough. He always looked out and tried to put young guys on and young rappers, and tried to give them a platform and all of that. He was that guy that was really just trying to help people. And it's a shame, like, when it's always the good ones that had to die type shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And Mr. Rapley, the guy from court, said that Mr. Mizell, talking about JMJ, had been producing his music and had never charged him for the studio time. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. He said at the back end of his Run DMC career, As Mr. Rapley put it, Mr. Mizell was a member of hip hop royalty, enjoying a second act as a producer and music executive, but he was also moving drugs for cash. Prosecutors said, quietly acting as a middleman between cocaine suppliers and street sellers for at least 6 years before his death. So this is not a case of him just flipping an album sale, like flipping a show, one knot or something like that. This is something he's been doing for 6 years steadily. He's a middleman. You know what I'm saying? He's basically the guy that, takes it from the cartel, gives it to the street guys, right? He's the middle guy. So he doesn't really have to do a lot of dealing, right? He doesn't deal with a lot of people. One person gives him something and he gives it to one person, and that's it. He's done. Right? He's not selling to all the dealers. He's not selling to the users at all. He just basically passes it from here to here. And it's probably the safest way to make a lot of money in the drug business. If there is a safe way, right? And he's dead. So there you go. But one of the defendants on the trial, Ronald Washington, one of the guys they say killed him, 59 years old, also known as Tenard, was a childhood friend of Jam, who helped him sell the drugs and then plotted to kill him when Jam cut him out of a potentially lucrative cocaine deal. So basically Jam didn't feel that he deserved a cut or was part of this deal or had any reason to be a part of this deal. He didn't make the connection. He didn't have any, dealing in the deal. So he didn't feel he owed him any part of it or that he was part of it. So, but the dude felt, oh, you're cutting me out. He's not cutting you out. You didn't have nothing to do with it. That's how cats do, man. That's how cats do. They get jealous, man. And envy and jealousy leads to this shit. But yeah, in the days before he died, you know what I'm saying, the guy that killed him, Mr. Washington, had already served jail time for heroin sales and was sleeping on a couch at Jam's childhood home in Queens, which Jam's older sister was living there at the time. And the co-defendant, who was the gunman, right? It's the guy, this dude Carl Jordan Jr., who's 40 years old now. I don't know how old. I think he was 18 when he killed him. But he is the gunman and is also Jam's godson. So it's his friend and his godson that kill him. It's not some dealer or some buyer, right? Or some middleman. It's his friend, his best friend, his partner, and his godson. And I always knew that this murder like broke my heart, man, because Jam J is just that kind of guy that you know what I'm saying? It's he, you know what I'm saying? He's just that dude. But when the gunman was 18, that's when he killed Jam J. And you know what I'm saying? He had no adult criminal record at the time. And when him and Tenard were arrested in 2020, the prosecutor said in a filing that the shooter had been in a drug trade for several years, and that the indictment included several additional narcotics distribution counts against him. So a third defendant, Jay Bryant, who was charged in connection with the murder last year, will be tried separately. But all three men have pleaded not guilty, of course, as you do in a murder trial. But as Jam managed the competing, demands in his close-knit, circle towards the end of his life, he said he was getting nervous enough about his personal safety that he started, being strapped. He started carrying a piece. And according to his cousin, you know what I'm saying, and who said his cousin said only close to his death I saw him carry a gun. We didn't discuss it when I seen it, but yeah, so yeah, Jam was not the type to carry a gun. It was just right around that time, that's when he started carrying a gun. and Jam still kept elite company in popular music circles later in his career. He still kept, he still hung with, real, Aerosmith and producers and shit like that, and collaborators on, music they did and shit like that. And days before his death, he had reconnected with the Queens, with in Queens with 50. Because they're all from Queens. I don't know. Let me see. What was Slade? What was you saying?
Jam Master Jay is from Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn.
He's a Brooklyn. He's a Brooklyn
Yeah,
kid.
no, but Run DMC is all from Queens. Yeah, Run DMC is all.
Run DMC and Run DMC and Russell. They from Queens. They from Queens because Jam Master Jay also his biggest act that he signed to his label
Onyx
was 50 Cent and Onyx. Was 50 Cent and Onyx
first.
And the deal that he got Onyx, when Onyx came out, remember they had movie deals. They had all that was Jam Master Jay. Yeah, he hooked all that up for them. He hooked all of that up for them. They was on Moesha before they didn't even have a second album. They didn't even have an album out. And they was on TV. And he was like, yo, these jokers on TV. Their second album, they was already doing TV shows. Sticky was on what? Sticky and Fredro was on Moesha regularly, stuff like that. Sticky, they had all of that. Right. Yeah, they had all of that planned out. Jam Master Jay bought the hood. He bought the hood to Run DMC. Because Run DMC was the hood. Yeah, that's the hood. That's the hood part of Run DMC. He was the one that bought that toughness, the black leather. He bought that to Run because they wasn't hood like that, Run and DMC. Jam Master Jay was the one that bought that to them.
Right.
But it worked. The three of their three styles and their distinctiveness of where they're from in New York and how they moved, that's what made Run DMC as popular as they were and made them what they are.
But 50 Cent in the trial said, 50 Cent, according to the testimony, 5 years earlier, Jam J had produced a track for 50 and released it on JMJ, his label JMJ. Yeah. And when they met in Chicago, 50 Cent had recently signed $1 million recording deal with Dre and Eminem right at that time, and was working on his debut album, which would become the best-selling album in the United States in 2003. We know, but while all this loot was flowing to all these other artists and recording labels, Jam's business was like fumbling a little bit, like it was stumbling a little bit. It wasn't doing, and Mr. Watford, who did promotional work for Jam and JMJ, testified that his paychecks would sometimes bounce. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when they did, he said he knew he had to wait for Jam to return from tour, and then he would get it from him or whatever. And of course, Jam would always have it. But he said he was going to stick. He said he was going to stick his hand in his pocket and make sure I was okay. Basically saying that he never, he always took care of his boys. Jam kept his ties to the drug trade largely secret. He didn't, even his friends and family had no idea. Like, he really kept that shit on the bro. That Jam was so gangster, dog, to me, that because he wasn't gangster, like he wasn't a gangster rapper. He wasn't a rapper, but he never flaunted it like that. And he wasn't a drug dealer like that, but he was a drug dealer's drug dealer, bro. He was a gangster's gangster because he really kept that shit on the low. Gangsters are supposed to keep that shit on the low. They're supposed to be quiet. They're supposed to pretend they don't do shit, right? They're supposed to have a car that's not on rims with candy paint jobs and shit. They're supposed to be in some busted shit, right? They're supposed to be incognito. And Jam really kept that shit gangster, dog. He really kept that shit close to the vest. I mean, nobody knew. And a convicted drug dealer, Ralph Mulgrave, testified under subpoena that he had sometimes bought cocaine from Jam J in 1 or 2 kilogram amounts to resell. So Jam's selling 1 and 2 keys at a time, right? That's weight. It's weight, but it's not, it's not cartel weight.
It's not metric ton weight. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But it's weight. It's fucking keys, right? Yeah. But at the same time, but it wasn't, but basically what Mulgrave said was Jason wasn't a drug dealer. He just used it to make ends meet, right? Yeah. He wasn't a drug dealer. He just facilitated buys, basically. He brought
like
the
I said,
dealer to
The
the
way
buyer.
you're telling this story, I want to go try it right now. Just by the way you're telling it, I'm like,
like I was just
I
saying,
might be able to get away with it.
I mean,
that's just how he hustled to maintain. He wasn't nothing that he was going to be the next Scarface or the El Chapo. He was just trying to get it so he can pay bills.
right.
All it was for to pay bills. Actually,
Basically.
you
know, fans knew or remembered Run DMC mostly for their upbeat songs about, you know, Adidas and, you know, Peter Piper and everyday struggle, you know, it's like that, you know. But basically, you know, even as rap took a harder turn for, you know, the gangster type shit in the 90s, you know, Run DMC's successors rhymed mostly about drugs and drug dealing and gang banging and all of that. And Jam J once even recorded a "Say No to Drugs" public service announcement, if y'all remember, with Run DMC and them, who and then The Wall by Jam J tried to maintain, you know, between his different worlds, crumbled that day that basically prosecutors say Mr. Jordan and Mr. Washington entered the lounge in Jam J's studio where he was playing a video game, chatting with his assistant, Uriel Rincon. Another employee, Lydia High, was standing by, and a few feet away behind a closed door, 3 people were inside the studio's control room. According to testimony, they included Mr. Rapley, Jam J business partner, Randy Allen, and an aspiring singer, Yara Concepcion, who was auditioning her songs. In the lounge, a silver pistol owned by Jam J sat in plain view. Mr. Rincon and Mrs. Concepcion testified it remained there untouched. Mr. Rincon said until after Jam J was shot, and Mr. Allen, emerging from the control room, grabbed the weapon and ran out of the studio's front door after the 2 assailants. In his testimony, Mr. Rincon, who was struck in the leg by a bullet, identified Mr. Jordan as the gunman and Mr. Washington as the accomplice after years of telling investigators that he didn't recognize the assailants. Because we all know it's been a big mystery. No one knows who did it. No one knows who killed Biggie. No one knows who killed Pac. People fucking know. Mr. Rincon, who had sought a career as a music executive and called Jam J a friend and mentor, said he was friends with everybody. He testified after the killing, he moved away from New York for a time. He said he was scared to cooperate with investigators and was under so much stress and duress that he sought professional mental health treatment. And he told defense lawyers, you know, when they cross-examined him, Mr. Watford, who went on to write and produce a 2008 documentary about Jam J, likened him to an older brother. He took me on a journey with him. He testified, whatever blessings that he had in life, he allowed me to be a part of it. End quote. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the biggest tragedies in hip hop.
Yeah, man.
You know, Jam is not somebody that deserved that shit.
No, not at all. No one deserve it. I mean, technically, you know what I mean, it's just circumstances of life, the choices you make, man.
You know?
Yeah.
It is what it is, y'all, but
on the DC front.
On the DC front. Where's Stu at, man? What happened?
Well, he said he had to bounce. He had to roll.
Oh, damn, my bad.
Stu, you know. He was
word, yeah, he had to fight crime.
Yeah. Definitely had to put on the cape and cowl and do his
cape
thing.
And cowl. Yeah. Nah, because I know he really likes Transformers, and there's a new free comic book day preview coming out. That's gonna be dope. That he's gonna love. The Energon Universe Special 2024 #1. It's gonna be dope too. It will feature a main cover by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spencer. Energon Universe Special #1 will feature a slate of variant covers as well by friends of Skybound and Top Comics talent Lorenzo Del Fici, Tom Riley, Stephen Green, and Kerry Randolph. Excellent. But here's the thing. Skybound and Image Comics, in collaboration with Hasbro, announced that they will publish Energon Universe Special number 2024. 2024 number 1, featuring the same story content as the Free Comic Book Day 2024 special, with an all new can't miss covers for collectors. So basically, what they're saying is that on Free Comic Book Day this year, May 8th, there's going to be a preview book, a special book, a free comic book, basically called Energon Universe Special 2024. So normally when a Free Comic Book Day happens, that's it. There's a comic and then there you go. That's it. What they're doing differently is they're also putting out an official like regular comic book with cover price and all of that, just a regular comic book with the same story that's in the Free Comic Book Day comic, with some variant covers. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. The greed is real, my brother. The greed is real. Like, yeah, I think at this point in time in the comic book game, it's all about the covers at this point, because they're making money off of variants, and it's kind of sickening in a sense. It's like the
value is gonna be with the covers.
Yeah, the value is with the covers, not the story. It allows them to, skim past the real reason why we truly love comics is because of the stories.
Right.
But now it's become a cover thing, And
right, but
like,
I understand why. Like the generation is different now. Now the generation wants a more vibrant story. If you go and look at comics in the 70s and 80s, I mean, the artwork wasn't as popping, but we got stories, right? And lacked the artwork. And now it's vice versa. Like now we're lacking the story, but have the artwork.
But we're talking about covers, not just the artwork inside.
Yeah, but we're not talking about what's inside. But even then, man, I mean, the art was always dope to me back in the day. Even the covers, it matched the inside. You know what I'm saying? It was
dope, but it wasn't quite as dope as the covers. The covers were always way better than what was on the inside. But
you had the same cover artist do the inside of the panels. Now we have
sometimes
yes, but now
I feel what you're saying.
We only have cover artists now. And
then you have John Jang is a cover artist. He doesn't draw inside comics. He just does covers.
Yeah.
But yeah, covers do sell. Bro, some of these covers, some of these variants, people don't even know or care what the comic is. Because a lot of times they'll be like, for instance, I just got this. This is Ultimate Black Panther number 1. This just came out. And let's say they put this out with a bunch of different covers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, alternate ones. Yeah.
A bunch of different alternate covers. They'll have like 15 different covers. Some of them will be ratios and shit like that. And but it'll be like, let's say here's X-Men and here's Black Panther, but they both have like a Spider-Man, special Spider-Man cover. Or a special cover. You know what's a better example? Alex Ross. Alex Ross does these portraits, but the fucking comic don't even be the character that the portrait is. Sometimes, and no one cares what the comic is. They're just buying that portrait.
Yeah, I'll be pissed off too sometimes, man. I get I'll be like, all right, the cover is dope. Let me go into the story, and I'm like, what's this half-ass anime? Fucking Ren and Stimpy art. Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can't. I don't like that. It's my preference is I like something that's really nice on the inside as well as the outside cover.
Yeah.
But it seems
I'm big
like
on the art.
Yeah.
It's
but the thing that's going down is the variants. That's the hustle now, man. And then people are getting their stuff slabbed at a high rate now for the variants. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that whole slab thing is a whole hustle now too. Let's not even get into that.
Yeah.
So you know how pretty much a 9.8 is like a top grade, right? No one really checks for 9, 9, 10. It just doesn't. It's 9.8 is considered a top grade, right? It's like a 9.8 is the shit. Well, CGC just now is about to start, or I don't know if they did start. They're about to start with a new 9.9, like a big push for 9.9s. So basically now you can send your books into CGC, a stack of books, and say, grade these books. If they're any less than a 9.9, send them back. Don't slab them. If they're 9.9 or whatever, slab them. Now, that was normal with 9.8s. Once they now basically what this is going to do is it's going to basically any grade that they would have given a 9.8, they're going to start putting in these 9.9s.
Yeah, they're going to upgrade them so they can slab them and make the money off it.
Now, what that does for people who have extensive collections of 9.8s right now, who think they got the top shit, they're now fucked. Everything has to be upgraded to a 9.9 to now have that same collection, or and now they've got to risk sending it in and possibly getting a downgrade, because we all know when we send our 9.8s in, they come back a fucking mysteriously a 9.6.
6.7
happens all the time.
And it'd be mistakes that they do. Maybe they did something wrong while they was examining the book, and maybe put a little indenture somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's what's crazy about it. That's totally what's crazy about it, man.
How much does it cost to get graded?
I haven't done any of that. I like raw books, but some say it's above $20, $40, $50. It depends on how many books you send. I don't know.
Okay, so when if you wanna grade a book, hang on, let me make sure my mic is right. It's right. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to grade a book, you can go to a comic book shop. You can go online and find people on Instagram who will grade, who will send your books in for you and all of that. You know, because a lot of people don't want to go through the CGC themselves. They want to go and say, "Here, Mr. Comic Book Store, grade these, send me back, bring me back some slabs," and you'll pay $50-$60. If you just go to the fucking CGC website yourself, okay, which this is what I did. You go to the CGC website yourself. You pay like, I think it's like $25. I want to say something like for like a membership thing, right? And once you do that, now you can slab your books for $34 or whatever it is. 30 books, $30, $28 or whatever it is. It's less than $40. It's 35 or something like that, or less, for like a basic slab. And you can put whatever tabs, you can upgrade, you can do all kinds of options and shit like that. There's not a whole lot of options. There's a couple things you can choose and shit. And yeah, and then you basically make an invoice. You make a list. This is you input the information, the issue and the name and the title and the issue number and all that of all the books you want to have slabbed, and you input them all in the website. You swipe your fucking card number or whatever, and they don't actually charge your card, by the way, but they, you know, they put a hold or whatever. They don't even put a hold. They just let you, they boom. So you swipe your shit, you put your shit in or whatever. They mail you. Do they mail you a mailer? No. Do they? I'm trying to remember. I did this, it was like 3 years ago I did this, but I'm not sure if they mail you something or yeah, they mail you. I think they mail you some mailers, some boxes, like a special packaging thing and like instructions. And then you package the books the way they tell you to do it. They're going to give you a specific way to package it. You have to place them in the box this way in a certain fucking order and place them in and put the invoice on top of each Gemini mailer, and it's like a whole process. And you do the box the way they tell you. They tell you the size of box and all that, right? Because they want the shit to be shipped there properly and intact. So you ship your shit in there, and they.
Reno, hey, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. My bad. We can't see you.
I can.
No, you can't see me.
I can see you. I mean, the people on live can't see you.
Why you can't see me, bro?
Maybe it's me because your screen's split.
I think it's you because I'm looking at YouTube now. Look, you can see me. Yeah, it must be you. Yeah, if anybody can't see me in the chat, let me know. Where was I? What was I saying?
You was talking about the shipper and how the Gemini box.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that you ship it in, and once they get your stuff, they obviously they do their thing, they grade it, whatever, and they mail them back to you, and that's it.
Mm.
You know, if you selected and said you can say I only want 9.4s or better, right? So if I send you a bunch of books and you do a bunch of, and they're like, oh, these are 9.2s. Well, I don't want to pay for a slab for a 9.2, right? Or I don't want to pay for a slab for a 9.4 or whatever it is you feel you don't want to have a slab. Some people, if it's a modern book, you really don't want a low grade. 9.6, 9.8 for a modern book, period. If it's not a 9.6, 9.8, what are you doing? Yeah. Older books from the 80s, it's all right to have a 9.2, a 9.0. For the 60s, you know, it's fine to have 8s and 7.5s and shit. For really high end books, like rare books and shit, lower grades is normal. Like no one expects you to have a 9.8 of fucking Amazing Fantasy 15.
I actually like mine lower because I know it's real. You know, I know it's not a fake. I can feel like somebody else actually read it. Like the older, like the crinkly ones, I love those.
Yeah.
The what?
I say the crinkly ones, like anything that you can tell is old or is coming off the paper, or like, you know, the staple is missing.
The vintage ones.
Yeah, I love those because I know they're real. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't like if I get something that's a 9 that came from the 60s because I'm like, there's no way this stayed fresh for that long.
Think, you know? Like it's a facsimile or something?
Yeah, but like there's no like even from the 90s. Like I have a lot of older static comics. And in the collector's bag is dingy. That lets me know that this is real. You know, whatever's inside of this is real because it's dingy. But if it's brand new, man, I'm like, how did you get a brand spanking new one? You know, like how did you do it?
Well, generally, the way that it's done is just by keeping that motherfucker in a bag and a board.
Right, but think about how many hands that it had to have at least passed before it got to you. You know,
a lot of people have one owner collections, 2-3 owner collections. I mean, you got to remember, if I was a kid in the 60s, nobody in the 60s bought their books, put them in bags and boards, and stored them. Very rarely, very few people. Right? That was a very weird niche thing to do. That shit really started in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard to find those books in decent condition. And you know, a kid would buy a comic book back then and roll it up and throw it in his back pocket and hop on his bike and ride home or whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't. No one was trying to keep him in good condition.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like, so how do you?
But
like
some people,
one.
There are those rare few who did. Right, and that's where you get those high grade old comics. That was my point. Is that there was those guys, there was those few collectors and rare few who did fucking literally bought them shits, put them in a bag and sealed them and put them up. And another thing, guys, when you put your comics in bags and boards, they're not just good for life. You do have to recycle these bags and boards after a certain time, depending on the bag and board company or the plastic that you're using instead.
Yeah, because the heat affects it, and then you can see another image on the whiteboard, the ink. You can see that after a while. The
plastic gets brittle. It's
And remember, the earlier plastic bags were more like, how you would say it, more had a different texture, and it was rubbery. And it was clear at one time, but over the time it gets foggy. Those are no good. You get rid of those quick. Now they got clear ones where it'll last
poly bags
years longer.
Polyurethane shit. But this Energon book though, this 2020 this free comic book day book, the Energon what you call it, special. It's Skybound comics. They sort of debuted a first look at some of the new pages from the special. It's got a with some shocking turns from the Juggernaut Energon universe series. And some dope first appearances from Void Rivals, Transformers, and GI Joe. And it's like a great jumping on point for new readers. If you missed the early Energon shit, you can hop on here. But it's gonna have 3 stories from the Energon universe with, you know, big revelations for the worlds of, you know, each one. You got Transformers, GI Joe, and Void Rivals, right? Those are the 3 titles that are part of the Energon universe by Robert Kirkman. And you've got, you know, Robert Kirkman, obviously. Sorry, what?
No, I was looking at Black Heroes Club. He's displaying the bag.
Yeah, I wanted to say this. So like the way that this is, it looks good, right? But I can see some of the dinges, like the marks. So I know if I open this up, maybe the comic could still be intact. But I mean, I can already tell it's not going to be a 9. You know what I mean? And this is an original packaging. But like even these, but this is what I love about, like, this is from the 1960s and they're still in good shape, but I can tell they're real, you know, they're used.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, okay, I know it's real. I know I'm not going to get a 9 or a great 9 on this, but I don't know, bro. It's real. I know it's real.
When you say you know it's real, as opposed to what? Like counterfeit, like a fake book?
Yeah. I mean, like, okay,
who does that? They make those?
I don't know. See, I'm still new.
That have been a problem?
Well, some people have done that with slabbing. Like they would open up the slabs and replace books.
Yeah.
So you get a 9/8, right?
No, he's talking about a facsimile, like a counterfeit version of a book. Like it's not really from the 60s. They just made a facsimile.
Right, but what Real Deal is talking about too, like all you would have to do is, you know, put just the cover of the book or 3 pages, and when it's in the slab, you would never know that the whole book's not in there until you open the slab.
Well, what they've been doing, what some people been doing is,
well, you know that no, bro, but no, okay, yeah, I see, yeah. If you open the slab and do that, yeah, but you can't open a slab and put that shit back together, dog. You can't.
Oh, they've been doing it. They've been doing that's what's part of the scam that was going on.
If you do it, dog, it's ways to tell, bro. It's ways to tell that it's been done.
But they were saying in the scandal with CGC, they've been doing that. They've been taking out the 9/8s and having the same comic book that's not a 9/8 and putting it back into the slab and selling it off to people thinking they're getting 9/8.
Well, but I don't think that's what Black Heroes Club is talking about, is it?
No, that's part of like what I'm talking about too. That's why when it's older, I know it's real.
But what's the other part of what you're talking about?
Well, that's all right. So like when I'm holding the older comic, I'm like, okay, this is real. Like I don't have to worry about it being fake or, you know, being a scam or anything. Like I know that this came from the 60s as opposed to like, you know,
a slab book.
No, forget slabs. No, forget slabs. Leave slabs out of it. He's not talking about slabs. He's talking about an old comic from the 60s. If it's wrinkly, then I know it's really from the 60s. But if it's really crisp and clean, this might be a counterfeit facsimile that someone printed up.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. They did do it. They did it with Superman Action Comics, right?
Yeah, a big $1 million comic, yeah, but they're not going to do it with your little cheap comics.
No, they did it with they've done it with Black Lightning, and they've done it with X-Men, the first appearance of Storm. They did it with Photon. I mean, they've done it with a lot of key characters. Daredevil, they did it with.
Wow. Yeah, I never heard of that. I never heard of that being a problem, like a thing. I never heard of anybody being worried about that. Like I never heard that being an issue. Yeah, that's cool.
And see, like I'm still new to this, but like from what I'm reading, it's like so.
I wouldn't worry about that, bro. You know, the that's got to be like getting struck by lightning twice. Like that's not gonna happen, bro. You're not gonna buy a counterfeit comic. You do not have to. I promise you.
Well, I
You're
mean,
not gonna. Listen. Just because I said that, maybe it'd be
Yeah,
some
right.
crazy shit. But trust me, it's got to be like a big comic for them to go through doing that.
yeah, the only problem you
Marvel
might
does it all the time, but they put the price tag. You know, it's a facsimile. It says $3.99 on it instead of 10 cents or whatever.
yeah, but you know, with the slabbing part of it, like if you go on eBay and then you get some unscrupulous characters that open up an eBay shop and they're selling slab books, and they're saying they're selling these 9.8s, and when you get them, or let's say 9.5s, and you get them, it's not a 9.5, it's something else.
Yeah, that can happen too. That can happen. That's also pretty rare, but it does happen. I mean, but that's why I'm not really I don't give a fuck about graded books and slabs. Like I don't have a big slab collection. I do want to read my comics. Like I it's not a big fucking, but I like Stu, for example. First thing he wants to do, I'm slabbing that. I'm slabbing that. Like if he sees a dope comic, I'm slabbing that. Oh, I gotta slab that. I'm like,
two of them though.
But he'll get two of them, right? He'll get one to slab and one to keep. Like if you, and that's kind of like what you got to do, But if it's a high value comic, you're not buying one to slab and one to read. You're not buying a $300 comic, one to slab and one to read. You're just gonna have one comic. You're either gonna slab it or fucking read it, or keep it available. Like this, for example, is a facsimile. But if I had the real one of this, I'd probably slab it because I'm never gonna read this comic. And if I ever need to read this story, I'll read it digitally because this is a very expensive comic.
That's the
drug. But I'm not gonna slab my modern books and shit because I like the cover.
Was that the Amazing Spider-Man issue with the drug, the based off the drug? I think I have that one.
No, this is the black suit.
Yeah, the black suit. Hold on. There was one what he did with where he had the there was a version where they had the anti-drug one.
Oh, no, this is Amazing Spider-Man 252. It's a facsimile though, because this real comic is like, I don't know, it's probably 20 grand or something. I don't know. It's but this is the original one would say, I think it says $1.90, $1.50 or something like that. This says $4.99.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's $4.99. The only thing about this cover, in fact, this whole comic that's not the same as the original, is that price. Everything else is, and obviously the barcode and shit like that. But as far as the artwork and where everything is placed, it's all exactly as the original. But again, it's very clear that it's a facsimile. You're not gonna have to worry about a counterfeit comic. That's not a thing that is.
Yeah. Wait. Now, how do you know? Like, I'm sorry. Let me ask.
What?
How would they not be able to do it? For example, the reason why I like the older comics is because in my mind, I know it's, real, or it's like, I know it's real in my mind. But like on the other side of that, it's like, how is it impossible for them to be able to print out the whole entire comic book or find one, fix it up, make it look nice and neat, and then put it in a bag and board and sell it to you?
If they fix it up and make it, if it's just a real comic and they fix it up and make it nice and neat, that's good. That's called restoration. But if they're actually taking, I don't know if they're, I don't know how they would do it. If they reprinted a comic, it would be pretty. You'd have to. I mean, Marvel prints comic. A comic printing press is probably not as cheap as buying like a T-shirt press. It's probably a lot more to it than that. I don't think the average asshole could print up a fucking comic in his bedroom that's gonna look like this.
You can print out a comic.
I don't know.
You can print out a comic book.
Okay.
The whole thing is, you got to go through a whole lot with the manufacturer that's working for you. Let's say I want to do the Devil's Due G.I. Joe #1, right? What have you? Let's give it a number. And I want to replicate that book because I don't have it, but I got scan pictures of the inserts and everything. Yeah. I can get it redone, but for me to go and sell it, that's bootlegging. That's a federal crime.
Right, but that's what he's saying. He's saying that people are going to bootleg a comic. What I'm saying is,
but nobody's going to go through all that because you got to pay money to get it done.
You gotta think about that, bro.
Yeah.
What would someone go, because they're spending a lot of money to make this counterfeit comic for one thing. So if I'm selling a comic that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, even $100, what am I going through all that for to make what's the profit margin if I spend all this money to make the comic book?
And then
the
manufacturer themselves be like, well, we can't print this because this is a Marvel comic. We cannot do this for you.
No, that's the thing. You can't use no manufacturer. You have to do this in your bedroom.
Yeah.
With what? With what equipment?
Yeah, you got to be right on with the measurement of the comic book. You got to be right on with.
That's what I mean. The measuring and
there's printers you can use. There's
printers you can use. But you got to think about it. The average Joe that's
it's
buying
a computer
this comic
program
book,
that you can do it. But I'm talking about the printing of it. That's the hard part.
The average Joe. All right, for me, I'm not I recently started collecting. So the average Joe that goes and says, "Hey, is this an actual #1 Black Goliath?" Right? How would I? As
no one's counterfeiting Black Goliath #1.
No, you're not gonna get that type of counterfeit. No one's gonna be doing that for comic books like that.
Not like that.
They'll take an old comic and replace it in the
first appearance of Spider-Man and shit like that, but not Black Goliath 1. No.
And even the first appearance of Spider-Man, it's like it makes no sense to do that because there's knowledge out there that says there's only a few of these out there. And ain't nobody ain't gonna come out the blue and be like, "Yo, I got this."
Wait.
Yeah, that would be dumb, but yeah.
Hear me out. This is why this is messing with me, because I went to an antique mall and I found a Black Goliath. I'm going to pull it out in really good condition. It's a #2.
Good.
And I got 2 of them. Right, but hear me out on this. Like the next day or like maybe a few weeks later, he had another one in the same exact condition. I guess that's why
it's not a rare book.
It's not rare. Look. And
you're talking about Black Goliath #2. He had another one. Oh, it's
yeah. I got 2. I got 2.
Yeah, but what are the?
He's got 2 of them.
Right.
Rob Talk has 2 of them.
What condition are they in?
They're in good condition. You may have some type of little watermark or maybe a little discoloring on the edges, but they're good. There's not going to be a bright white on it.
I've been seeing. I don't. I think you are new to this because I do be seeing some. You can get every comic that I see you show on your pages and stuff when you do your YouTube or your Instagram posts and stuff. Every comic you show, you could get it in a 9.8, bro. Every one of them, there's a 9.8 out there, and you could get it for a nominal fee.
Yeah.
You don't deal in big expensive comics, bro, and so trust me, those comics can be in perfect condition because they're not rare. You like black heroes, you like black characters, and those just aren't very valuable, right? We don't have a lot of black characters that are very valuable comics, unfortunately, whatever reason.
And stuff
other than right. So you're in a market, the stuff you like, you can easily get.
Yeah, it's in
top condition.
You just gotta find them. But see, here's the test. This is what I know you need. Here's the test that it's an old comic. When you buy it, you open it up and smell the pages because those old comics have a certain smell to them, that newsprint smell.
Plus, they have newsprint paper. New comics have like glossy magazine paper.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
And then in the 90s, they had these semi-gloss ones that was kind of like newsprint, but they wasn't
right
in the middle. So there's different ways to judge what's what. Now, if you get a comic book of Black Goliath #2, and all the pages are white on the inside, and there's no tan pages, well, you got problems.
But you do not see. Like, listen, no. Here, let me show you a good example. Here's a great example. This right here is the facsimile of this comic, right? When this original comic came out, these pages were like newspaper.
Yeah.
But these are not newspaper. These are like magazine gloss. But if you look, it's the same imagery as the old, but it's not. But the paper's not newspapery. This is magazine. You see how shiny it is?
And it's vivid. The color.
Yeah, it's shiny. The color's very, very vivid. Not like the old comics. So this is an old comic, but this is a facsimile. So you see how bright and shiny it is? Like the old comics didn't look like this.
And the pages are white. Your average old comic,
dark white.
tan.
Yeah,
like
they've got a little tanning, a little yellowing. Yeah. But no, there's nothing wrong, bro. There is nothing wrong, bro. It's desirable to have a comic in great condition. You do want that. You don't want your comic to look like an old scroll. These aren't maps. They're not ancient fucking, right? They're not ancient pirate maps. You don't want them to look old. You want them to look new. You want them to look crispy and clean. That's the desire.
I don't know. I have a thing for that too.
But I get that.
For that vintage look and that vintage smell. I love it. You know, it's just something about it that breathes or says it's historic. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe that's a better example of what I was trying to say too.
I get that.
Like that is a way better example. Like instead of saying like they're fake or whatever, cool.
Yeah.
But like that example, like
to look like old. Yeah, I got you.
And that's what I mean by real too. It's like this is real vintage. You know what I mean? Like you're holding real history in your hand.
Yeah.
But don't shy away from a crispy, clean, brand new old comic. That's dope if you see that. If you see a Black Goliath #1 that's in perfect condition, jump on it.
Yeah,
you want that.
Because most times a lot of old comic shops will have stock that they haven't touched in 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years. And they come across it somehow, and this shit is crispy as shit.
Yeah, dog. It is not hard to find those books, though, especially 80s and 70s, and now 60s. Yeah, to find 60s books in crispy condition, you're not gonna find that in the fucking back bins. Those are gonna be in the glass cases or whatever. But they're easy to find in every comic shop. But you're not gonna find them in the dollar bins for sure. But yeah, they're out there.
I'm trying to look for a Black Goliath #1 to match my #2 up with, man.
And you can go on eBay and get it right now.
Yeah, they're only like I'm following one right now that's 25.
Yeah.
But the only problem I don't pull the trigger on some of these is because I want more. You know, like one comic for 25 sets. You know what I mean? It's like
see, I'm not.
But you're buying that one comic because it's a key issue. That's why you're paying 25 because there's something special about that issue, right?
But see, I'm like him in a sense where the reason why I don't go on eBay to buy that book because I want to find it in the wild some way. Because I found #2 and #3. I need #1 to find it in a 25-cent or $1 bin.
Yeah.
I'm only missing #1. No. You know which one I want? Luke Cage versus Black Goliath.
Okay.
Where they're it's actually the first appearance of Black Goliath. Is actually the technical
Marvel team up.
No, they're fighting. So check it out. So you have Black Goliath holding his wife, his ex-wife, and Luke Cage is uppercutting him in the jaw. And his wife, or like the ex-wife, is saying, Luke, don't hurt my ex-husband. And then it goes into the story where they're fighting over Cecilia.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Goliath comes in and says, "Take your hands off my woman." Bro, it's so dope, man. It is so dope.
Hell yeah. I mean, and you can get all that stuff. I mean, bro, you could have every book you love in top-notch condition. But yeah, there is something to be said to finding it in the wild for like 25 cents. It's great when you find a book that's valuable, that someone forgot. But most LCSs, especially nowadays, you got two types of comic shops. Well, you got three, but one is the guy that he doesn't really check his inventory, and you get lucky and you find some stuff and he sells it to you for whatever the sticker was on the bag for when he priced it back in 1982. That's one thing, but those are really rare and you almost never find them, and you get really lucky and you don't tell anyone about it when you find it. The other kind of two shops you got is, they go amongst their inventory on a regular basis. They hire extra. They got 2-3 kids that come in. They hire them. Everyone, they go through the comics. They're checking them on eBay. They're checking prices, and they're constantly pricing everything. So you're basically not going to find any deals. The third kind is they don't do any of that. They just wait for you to bring it to the fucking counter with the $5 sticker, and they go, okay, and they look it up on eBay, and this is $25 now. And they change the price for you. You know what I do when they do that? I walk out of the store and tell them, fuck you. Never give them $1. If they do that to you, bro, turn around and walk out.
Exactly.
I swear to God. But
Hey,
that's
no,
do
you're
that.
speaking facts, because what I didn't do is I didn't just walk out. I was like, all right, cool, here's your money. And I went back like a sucker, you know? So
yeah, I mean
now
that's
if
what they
that's your
depend
only
on.
comic shop that you
And also,
that you have, it's like it's
there's
crazy.
nothing wrong with buying that if that's what you want. You gotta buy. There's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, if you know better, it's for me. If they do that, I feel like here's my problem with that. One, do your fucking job. I'm not doing your job for you. That I feel like you got me doing your job for you. I just went and found the book and brought it up to you so you can price it. Fuck you. You go price your books. Because there's a price on this book. There's a price tag on the book. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So now if they got their books out there and there's no prices on anything, well, then you got to know that this guy's going to price it at the counter. So you might as well get your phone out, go to eBay, check the sold for prices, and this is what it's been selling for. And that's what you're going to pay.
And then negotiate it. Or when you get to the counter.
That's the Luke Cage Power Man book, number 24. Is what you was talking about.
It's the you see it like it's an amazing cover, man.
Yeah, it's tight. I think I have it. I gotta look.
So I'm missing that one, and I'm missing Black Goliath #1. And like I say, the reason why I just can't afford it, I'm not gonna even lie to you. I can't pull the trigger because both books together are $102 for me.
Shit. Well, that's a lot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the Black Goliath one is the Luke Cage Black Goliath is $66.
It's $24 on eBay right now. It's bugged out. Yep, in stock, $24.
Are both of them?
Just for the number 24, first appearing in Origin of Black Goliath on Luke Cage Power Man.
That's not bad, man. That isn't bad.
That's $24. Yep, right on eBay. Let's see what they got it for at Amazon. They got it for $31, $32 at Amazon.
I see it for 30.
Yeah. So they're reasonable. They're in a reasonable range for a comic that age, and you gotta check the condition. If the condition is fabulous, then shit, pull the trigger on it because that's you know what I mean.
First appearance of Black Goliath, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, here's one for $34.
Yeah, man. So don't be afraid to, And
let me tell everybody what we're talking about.
And then sometimes at your comic shop, man, sometimes you got to tell them like, yo, why am I bringing comics up to you, man? Look,
right.
I don't think this is right. You're supposed to be a comic shop in the community to supply people with what they love. You're not going to have this shop long if you're doing this, because people can go straight to eBay. Then we wouldn't need you. We go straight to eBay.
Right.
Why do I need you if I can go to eBay and get the same price and stay in my home and wait till it gets to my house?
Exactly. That's but you'll never find a comic shop that's going to be like, let me sell it for less. They just don't do it. But
they don't.
No, but you hope that what they don't do is wait for you to bring a book up, then change the price on you. Yeah, that's bullshit. I'm not playing that shit. As soon as they do that,
like it's getting so bad because like they'll go through their stuff, they'll pull it out.
Why am I hyped for this right here?
Oh, that's cool.
I'm hyped for this, right? I don't know. I'm so hyped for this right now, dog. I don't know why, bro. When I was a kid, when Dick Tracy and that movie came out, that was the shit to me, dog. I was buying the action figures and all that.
Did you see it on a Laserdisc?
No, I seen it in the theater.
Yeah.
Warren Beatty and Madonna and that shit was crazy. All the gangsters. That Rogues Gallery, bro. He's the original. He's the first Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's the first Rogues guy. He's the first one with a Rogues Gallery.
Yeah. When did it come out?
In like the 20s or some shit, man.
30s.
Dick Tracy, 30s, 40s, whatever.
Then they redid
maybe the 50s. I don't know. Maybe the 50s. I don't know. What?
I think it's
then
it takes place post World War II.
Yeah, so it has to be the 50s.
But it's like bootlegging, gangsters, mobsters, every bad guys, like Flat Top or Prune Face or Mumbles or Lips or some funny
Oh
gangster.
shit! 1931.
1931.
So am I? Oh wait. Am I
Let
tripping?
me show
Because
you
in the
something.
'90s they had a Dick Tracy movie.
Chicago Tribune.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. October 4th, 1931. It was a comic strip in a newspaper.
So Black Heroes, the movie that came out in the 90s was a movie about the 1931 character, right? That movie wasn't made, that character wasn't made up for the 90s movie. That was just a movie about Dick Tracy. Dick
Okay.
Tracy's been around since the 30s, right? He was a comic strip in the newspaper at 1st, and then they started doing but this was my little t-shirt when I was a little kid. Let me see. Yeah, I cut it up because I'm about to put it on a big shirt and wear it.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There go the rogues.
You know what I mean? The rogues right there. You got who? Prune Face.
Prune Face was crazy.
Word Rodent. Fucking Big Boy Caprice. That's Al Pacino. Flat Top. He's my favorite. He's a real hitman with a Tommy gun.
And that's what Hammerhead. Hammerhead from Spider-Man.
Exactly.
From Flat Top.
Flat Top. See?
Yep. Same type of underboss too. Same type of underboss. Everything. Yep.
Yep, yeah, underboss and all that. But yeah, this looks dope. This comic, this Dick Tracy comics. I like the art style. I like the solid black background with the yellow. It pops, man. It just looks really cool. And he's wearing his trademark, that wrist, that watch where he talks is like a walkie-talkie and shit, which was crazy for the 1930s. That was some high-tech shit.
Yep, foreshadowing what we got now with the smartwatch.
Exactly. Got that shit right now.
Yeah, Dick Tracy, definitely dope.
Yeah, that's coming out.
I got his Erdl car.
It's coming out next Wednesday.
Nice.
You got his what?
The Erdl car.
What's that?
It's like a Hot Wheels car.
Oh, a little one.
Yeah.
It's like a bright yellow. That yellow one?
No, it's black. It's actually his car was black.
Oh,
it wasn't a yellow car. It was black.
Damn. Yeah, I would like to see that. But yeah, when I was a kid, man, this was the shit, Dick Tracy. Because I was into gangster shit, man. I was heavy into like Goodfellas and Godfather, and that was all my shit. Every one of those movies, and so Dick Tracy was just like a comic version of that. That's what it is. Basically, a comic version of gangster shit. And but yeah, this is what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna cut. I cut the shirt off. This old T-shirt when I was a little kid. The shirt was not much bigger than this. It's a little 10-year-old T-shirt, a little 6-year-old T-shirt or whatever. I don't know how old I was, but I'm gonna sew it on the top of a nice like $60 nice cotton T-shirt, right? And sew that shit on there, and have that shit like boom.
I'll show you the next time because I know you're gonna show the comic when it comes out.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna have the card when
absolutely. I got another one too.
It's buried.
I got another one too.
Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you gonna sew that back on a different shirt or on the jacket?
I'm gonna sew this on the shirt. I got the actual comic to this, but yeah, I'm gonna sew that on the shirt. I'm gonna sew that on the shirt.
Nice. Yo, you remember back in the day when you had your Lee denim, and on the back you could do the art on your back? I know you got one of those. I'm about to do some art to my denim jackets. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Dang.
Word up.
Yeah, I had to do it. Had to do it.
Yo, they used to do that a lot back in the day over here. definitely in Staten Island.
Oh, bro, in the 80s, bro, in New York, the denims, the jackets, bro.
Yeah, man, used to be heavy. I want to bring that back in a sense. Straight art on the back of the jackets, like on the denim and stuff. Word up.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Sure, I wish they brought pinstripe Lees back and stuff like that, man. And the two-tone joints.
Yep.
Be hard.
Dog, they can. I mean, you can rock that shit right now too.
Oh yeah.
Hey, bro, I would love like a vintage looking Leatherman with like in the colors of Black Lightning, blue and white and black.
Yeah.
Like black at the cuffs and then white and then the rest blue. Oh, that'd be so dope.
Yo, you can do that. I mean, you could just manufacture. I mean, they be doing that stuff, man. You can find a lot of shit, man, out there.
Yeah. No, you absolutely. Yeah, you can.
Yeah. You get your own Black Lightning hats made. I mean, you may have a problem reproducing the logo, but I don't know. You can find ways around it. There's certain ways around it. You can go to China and get the logo done on a patch, and then have your lady at the dry cleaner sew it onto your hat. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I just learned to do all that shit for myself.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. I just saw all my. I went on fucking eBay, ordered a sewing machine. Then I went on YouTube. How do I do this? How do I do that? And they show you on YouTube how to do this and that. Like, how do I don't know shit about sewing, right? Nothing. Not the first thing. How do I turn on the sewing machine? How do I thread the sewing machine? How do I change the needles on the sewing machine? It's all there on YouTube. Everything. How do I how do I make jeans go from baggy to fucking more relaxed? Like, how do I do this? How do I everything? It's all there. And it's not hard. It's very easy. That's the crazy shit. And it's dope when you figure out that you can take all your old clothes, shit that don't even fit you no more, shit that's stained, dirty, your favorite t-shirt, they got a hole in it, and you can take and make that into some new dope shit. You can make a hoodie out of your old fucked up raggedy t-shirt, or a jean jacket, or a new t-shirt. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of t-shirts that are made out of old t-shirts. It's crazy.
It's the dope shit, man. Self-reliant.
It'd be like blue and cream.
Word, right?
That's it. Make your own shit.
Yo,
this is how you freak.
Hey, you guys used to watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yo, yeah.
Do I? All right. So, like, I had this jacket, right? And I was thinking about Oob. Remember Oob in GT, Dragon Ball GT? And he wears his outfit.
Yeah.
And like it opens up. They're like, with what you guys are talking about, to be able to cut this out and then fashion it like he has it. But I need a pair of white pants too. Because like they're into cosplay now too. You know, like doing a cosplay, making your older clothes into, you know, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You there's a world of possibilities and different things you can get into just by being creative, man. You can even do drop shipping and use that resource just to drop ship to yourself. You don't necessarily have to sell to anybody. You can go on there and like a print for or something and just make clothes just for yourself. You don't really need to do anything for anybody else. You want to make your own jacket? You can go on Printful or Printify. Make your own hats. And people ask you, yo, how do you I made it myself. I got it made.
Yeah. That's one dude I came in, he was like, you always come in here with these dope jackets, man. Every time I see you got all these dope jackets. Where you get all these dope jackets? I'm like, how do you afford all this shit? I make this shit, dog. I make it.
Word.
I made all this shit.
Like, I'm thinking it would be cool to like have something like this flashy
designer,
and then like sew on the inside, like a Black Lightning or a, you know, man, even Batman, you know, like make a Batman logo on the inside of it.
Oh yeah, what is that? Like a suit jacket?
Yeah, like a suit jacket for geeks and nerds, where you can still look fresh, but you know, stay true to yourself.
So you know how the inside has like a satin inlay or whatever, but instead of like a mushroom belt with a mushroom jacket, it'll be Batman symbols, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm referring
You
to.
know what? Yeah,
Mushroom
but
belt, boomerang
even
movie,
deeper than that,
mushroom belt.
man.
Voucher.
Like make a suit, like you know in the animated shows where they have the suit on and somehow they're able to like do something. Batman, think about Batman in the animated series when he was always Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Even as Bruce Wayne, in his suit or in his jacket he had some kind of device. Like think about that kind of suit in real life where you're able to wear it and have like other pockets where you can put your stuff in.
Oh yeah, they have
Hide your
that. They have
utility
that.
belt.
They have that. It's called Japanese tech wear. They have that.
Hmm.
They've been
Oh, I'm
doing
too
that.
late. Yeah, so I'm too
They've
late.
been doing that. Yeah. They have suits where you can have your iPad and all this other trinkets and shit.
Chargers and shit inside the
Yeah.
jacket, batteries and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Now I gotta look it up.
Johnny Mnemonic shit. Well, yeah, speaking of some dope shit, we got the Invincible, what do you call it? The trailer for season 2.
Season 2.
Season 2 was dope.
Season 3,
so far. The trailer for the second half of season 2, because they did a hiatus. They did like a little half thing. So, but the trailer for the second half of season 2 is going to give us sort of glimpses into like a lot of the new characters and stuff like that. But it also teases one of the comic book's most controversial characters as well. And this is the second half of the second season, and it's got a very eclectic range of characters set to make reappearances, new appearances, and basically appearances from the comic. The second part of the season is already looking like a strong follow-up to the first part. Despite how enticing this new trailer is, it also briefly showcases one of Invincible's most controversial characters, like I mentioned, which presents a unique challenge for a second half of season to overcome. A lot of the society today, social justice, the woke, the Twitter mobs, it's problematic, that kind of thing. Invincible is known for brutal fights, it's known for violence, it's known for that kind of shit. But this new character set to appear in the second half of the season 2 takes things to new heights. None of the depicted violence has or ever will likely ever reach.
So they're gonna take the scene out.
So without saying it, because we can't really talk about that on YouTube, we're not going to say it. But while Invincible's future already faces problems, the depiction of its newest character has the potential to effectively see the show's face cancellation if Amazon Prime fails to address things tactfully. While Invincible has already proven itself capable of handling many complex issues with grace, the show's next challenge will be a challenge. In the source material, Anissa is a fellow Viltrumite whose primary goal is to convince Mark to conceive a child with her in hopes of restoring balance to their fleeting species. Despite her pleas, Anissa uses unscrupulous tactics such as threatening the lives of his loved ones, the safety of Earth itself, even himself, if he fails to help her usher in a new age of Viltrumites, if he fails to allow her to make him copulate and make her have a baby. After refusing to assist her, Mark and Anissa engage in a lengthy battle where Anissa is the victor. Obviously, she's a Viltrumite. Mark is he's still young. He's invincible, but he's not seasoned. He'll one day be able to take on any Viltrumite, but right now he's not quite at that point. Her victory over Mark is not the issue, obviously. After pinning Mark to the ground, she forces herself upon him, which results in
her
impregnation. And what's worse about the situation is that Anissa never faces any serious repercussions. She goes on to have the child, no problems.
I
Now,
wonder if they're going to relate this to Amber and his story. Like because it happens, he ends up breaking up with Amber because of the insecurities. If that makes sense.
Who knows? I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. It's not how it happens in the comics, but who knows? Who, because they will have to do some manipulation here, because this is a very touchy subject, especially in today's climate, and they'll have to do some adjustment. But although Invincible creator Robert Kirkman has developed a strong reputation for pushing the envelope in terms of his depictions of sensitive material like this, and other controversy over his portrayal of Mark's sexual assault, is that it's made to look somewhat. It's made in the comics. It's kind of sexy. It's not. It's not. Listen.
I didn't get it. I didn't get that vibe. When I read the comics, it was heartbreaking for me.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It is. But the way Robert Kirkman describes it and the way he wants to depict it is almost in a way that isn't violent. It isn't. It isn't.
It's consensual in a sense.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like.
It's like he's tough.
I gotta be careful. We can't really.
Yeah, he's tough.
We can't really talk about.
He should be able to handle it because he's a tough guy.
Right, but if you guys remember the snowfall scene, like I always relate it back to that, man. Like this is a real issue, and I really hope that they actually do it justice.
Yeah.
Not to get too political.
No, but I'm sure they will, and the controversy over his portrayal of this assault will it will be different than it was in the comics, basically. Despite its impact on the story, Invincible has already hinted at how the show will tackle the scene. As a result of Mark being forced to impregnate Anissa, she gives birth to their child, Marcus Murphy, which effectively satisfies her goal of gradually reestablishing their race to eventually take over Earth. Adding insult to injury, Anissa callously claims that she'll seek Mark out again and repeat her assault, since it's the only way to reproduce more Viltrumites with him. And so the depiction of the sexual assault is abhorrent, yes, but Invincible 2, Season 2, Episode 3, The Missive, This Machination, already hinted at how the show will handle the controversial moment. During the episode, Alan the alien divulges to Mark that other Viltrumite kids might already exist without them fully knowing. Alan's single line implies that Anissa could already be a mother reproducing Viltrumites by other means. The line also hints that there could be other Viltrumites on Earth with whom Anissa is well acquainted. And while Marcus becomes a crucial character in the source material, and the moral dilemma Mark faces regarding his son's birth makes for a compelling read in the graphic novels, its graphic nature justifies Amazon Prime changing how the events leading up to Marcus's birth unfold.
So it's a whole thing about accountability. I can't even talk right
accountability.
Now. Yeah, with the female species doing what they do, where if it was reversed, we would have to show accountability. You know what I'm saying? All the time. So if they don't show her having to show accountability, then there's a problem.
Yeah, I mean,
the scary thing about that is a lot of men are actually going through this, and just because it's a woman, it can also represent the fact that, like, what if it wasn't a woman?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different story. I don't want to get into that, but Invincible would definitely benefit from changing the introduction, of this character Marcus into the series, because of the graphic depiction of the sexual assault simply isn't needed. And there, like you said, Black Girls Club, there's a lot of people that may be going through that will take offense to it, and but then then it goes back to do we just stop making movies because it's something is going to offend somebody? I mean, something is going to offend somebody.
It's not about offending them. It's about doing it right so that everybody can, like, do it right, because a lot of people that are going through it, are gonna, like, they're gonna see, what are you gonna do about this? It's gonna open up doors where people aren't gonna be afraid to say, hey, you know what, this happened to me. This person's gonna take accountability.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like making the material. I mean, if the material, if the movie bothers you, like, I don't like to watch autopsies, so I don't watch them. I don't like to watch, but I don't say that they shouldn't televise autopsies. I don't think that they shouldn't have it, because some people are very interested in autopsies and they want to watch it and they look at it, and I need those people because they're doctors. Those are the people that are going to be able to cut me open and fix me when something's wrong. Those are the type of people we need. Those people who are interested in looking at autopsies for the right reasons, obviously. But I don't like looking at it, and I'm not a doctor, and I don't plan to be, so I don't watch them. I don't like certain type of. Now, let's say you don't like certain type of horror movies. Well, don't watch them, but don't say, "Oh, we can't have that horror movie."
Yeah.
But when it comes to this show, and you're talking about, a sexual assault, if you're gonna put it in there, and you're aiming this to be for a certain audience, you got to read the room. If this show is geared towards Gen Z, it's geared towards millennials, it's geared towards socially conscious types, it's geared towards the woke community, it's geared towards the current Twitter mob, it's geared towards contemporary, people or whatever, that
I'll say
demographic.
this. So with what you said, Reno, is right. Like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. But I think what this is tackling is more than, if you don't like an autopsy, like, it's actually tackling a key issue that's happening. And if this corporation doesn't, like, do it correctly, then all you're saying is that, ha ha ha, we get away with it again.
No, all you're saying is that we're adapting a comic book, and this is what's in the comic book. This is an animation of that comic. You wanted me to animate this comic. I'm just animating the comic. Now, if you want me to change what's in the comic, then I hope that they work that out before we sign the contract. Which I'm sure they did, and I'm sure Robert Kirkman has no problem with it. And here's the thing. Certain topics are pretty much universally considered taboo. You're right. It's not the same as an autopsy, but this certain topic, nobody's down with it. It's not good for anybody. It doesn't help anybody. No one, it's not scientific. It has no use. It's just not needed. There's just no need to put the scene in at all. You don't, but I don't see also a need to, like, alter it and, like, make it to, like, butter it, tone it down. It's like, either you're not putting it in, you know what I mean? Just don't put it in, but don't alter it and try to make. Because then it's like you're making light of it. Don't make light of it. Don't alter it to make it. Oh, well, we're gonna make it an assault light. Like, what's that?
Yeah, then we're on the same page. You either don't do it or you go through with it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I think. but it's you know the themes addressed throughout the series are definitely already provoking on their own. The violence, the father beating his son to a bloody pulp. I mean, there's we're ripping hearts out of chests here. There's nothing like conscious about this
And
movie. Is brutal.
you know what? They do it. They do it in Family Guy. But see, the thing about Family Guy is they try to make it funny. And this issue that we're bringing up with Invincible, like in Family Guy, they make it funny. And Invincible, it's like you got to stay true to the comic or don't do it.
Right.
Mm.
And Anissa assaulting Mark doesn't add anything to the series other than the cheap shock value. Basically, is what it's just more shock value for the comic, and that's what the comic was all about. Shock value. It's what a lot of Kirkman stuff is. And I mean, a lot of Walking Dead is shock. Do I still have that Walking Dead book? The one where Glenn gets his head smashed in? I don't think. But it's all a lot of it's shock value, and but that one thing doesn't bother me if it's left out or whatever, because it's like I don't think it really is needed. I think the violence is necessary. I think the gore is necessary. I think that's all part of what makes Invincible invincible. Without that, it would just be what everyone was. When you see Invincible, right? When I saw it on the stands, I passed it up. Like I didn't buy it. I thought it was just another superhero indie comic. Like it's just another superhero. I didn't realize it was like crazy, graphically violent. That's what's fun about it. That's what makes it different.
Fun fact, before the show blew up, you can go and watch The Big Bang Theory. And when they go into the comic book store, Invincible is one of the posters, like in the far corner, that you can see Invincible on, right before it became popular.
Wow. That's dope. That's a dope Easter egg right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, additionally, viewers are much more vocal about their disdain regarding subjects right now, images that they find offensive. And we have social media and different platforms for people to express their opinions. And, depicting Mark's, assault plays into the negative stereotype of assault against men not being as serious as is when it's against women. Right. And this is problematic because it's wrong and abhorrent, regardless of who it's on. Who's the one receiving it or who's the victim or whatever. It's regardless. And to properly address it with adequate screen time and do it right would take away from the focus of the larger story. It would take away from the story itself. And it's like, that's what I mean about either cut it out or just leave it how it is, but don't try to make it understandable. And because it would take too long. It would take away from the focus of the story, and it would become the focus, and it's not. And with the many ways that Invincible has already tactfully handled serious matters, like violence and family and stuff like that, I think the show would do fine without the scene. I don't think they need it. That's what I think.
So
Yo, shout out Sean. What up, man? Salute. Peace.
Yeah. Salute.
But yeah, DC, we got a lot of DC news. We got Creature Commandos. James Gunn gives an update on the Creature Commandos series that's coming out. That's the new DCU joint. The first official entry into the James Gunn DC universe, and the newest animated series inspired by the DC team Creature Commandos, already becoming a particularly exciting prospect for fans. The DCU series was announced to be in the works earlier last year. And the anticipation around it has grown. Its ensemble cast and distinct character designs and, sort of monster vibe is really popular, and people seem to like it. And while Creature Commandos does not yet have an exact release date, Gunn has hinted that the series will arrive sometime very soon, like very, very soon. And all of the social media posts and updates and stuff like that are pointing to probably this summer. But he said, Gunn said, all of the initial animatics are done and locked, but the elaborate animated finals are being worked on now. Because this is an animated show; it's not filmed, it's not live action, rather. So it takes a while to make it. But Creature Commandos is definitely not a very well known team. Obviously, it's not very popular or anything like that. But it was initially created by J.M. Matthias, Dave Matthias, and Pat Broderick in Weird Tales number 93. This is back when they had those comics just like Weird Tales, and
that's where first appearance of Dr. Voodoo.
Exactly. There you go. And the Creature Commandos are a crop of human monster hybrids who basically carry out military actions for the government. So it's like a Suicide Squad full of Frankenstein and vampire. You've got the television adaptation will include Eric Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Rick Flag Sr., Dr. Nina Mazursky, Dr. Phosphorus, GI Robot, and Weasel. Sean Gunn is going to play Weasel again. Sean Gunn is James Gunn's brother, who was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's now the guy with the whistle, the whistle needle dart thing that Yondu had. He's the one with the mohawk that took Yondu's mohawk. That's the guy. He's playing Weasel again. He's also playing GI Robot. Yeah, he's got two voice jobs. But the series will also star Maria Bakalova as Princess Lilana Rostovic and Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, and Steve Agee as John Economos. And Rick Flag Sr. will be Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo is a martial artist, actor, sort of on the rise, on the come up rather. Creature Commandos is based on the great team from DC. James Gunn explained at the state event, what we're doing with DCU is we are having animation tied directly into live action. Television, movies, and games all intertwine within the same universe. We're going to cast actors that are going to be able to play the characters in this as well as other things. Some of which we've already cast. I've written all 7 episodes of the show, and it's in production. So that's the first thing, and I love it. The video games, the TV shows, the animated shows, the movies. So if one actor plays, Green Lantern in the movie, that same actor is going to voice Green Lantern in the video game. He's going to voice Green Lantern in the animated show, and he's going to play Green Lantern in the TV series, right? So that same actor is always that character, no matter what medium. Once this thing kicks off, and it kicks off with Creature Commandos. This first animated show, will be the first thing in that universe. So any characters in this show, or any actors playing any of these characters, like for instance Amanda Waller, will be in other shows, and it'll be Viola Davis, no matter what the medium is. And as Peter Gunn and Safran revealed back in January, the initial DC Studios slate for their Gods and Monsters chapter thing will include movies: Superman Legacy, The Brave and the Bold, which is Batman, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Swamp Thing, and The Authority. And it's going to have the Max television shows Waller, Booster Gold, Lanterns, which is supposed to be like a True Detective style show with Green Lanterns, with Jon Stewart and shit. Paradise Lost, and the animated series Creature Commandos. Gunn said, "We're honored to be the stewards of these DC characters we love since we were children. We look forward to collaborating with these most talented writers, directors, and actors in the world to create an integrated, multi-layered universe that still allows for the individual expression of artists involved. Our commitment to Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Harley Quinn, and the rest of the DC stable of characters is only equaled by our commitment to the wonder of human possibility these characters represent. We are excited to invigorate the theatrical experience around the world and tell some of the biggest, most beautiful, and grandest stories ever told." But yeah, you know, Creature Commandos. What do y'all think? I think it sounds dope. I can't wait.
I don't know a whole lot about Creature Commandos, but the way you told it, now I got to look it up.
It's dope. I think it's gonna be dope.
Because I mean, with DC, they also have what is it? It's like Universal Monsters. They got Frankenstein. They got. Hold on, I think I have the comic book here. Hold on, let me show you guys real quick.
Yeah, the Universal monsters, like Universal Studios monsters, Frankenstein, the Mummy, yeah, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein. Those are the Boris Karloff.
All right, so are they all? But they all have their own separate story, right?
What?
The reason? All right, so like with the monsters in that universe, they all have their. Because I know who Frankenstein is. I know who Wolfman is.
Oh, I'm not talking about the comic book thing.
Oh, okay.
Those are the Universal Studios monsters that I was just naming. Creature Commandos is something else, but they're based on those Universal monsters. They're hybrid. They're humans that are sort of mixed, like half human, half Frankenstein, half human, half Wolfman, half human, half Dracula, half human, half Mummy, whatever the fuck. And so it's like a government team of humans who are mutated with these monsters. They're like half monster, half human type shit. And those are the monsters from Universal Studios. Those classic monsters are the monsters that they're based on.
Yeah, because they did one which I wouldn't mind for them to go into if they doing that creature. Gotham City monsters.
Let me see.
Oh, you gotta expand it out.
You need a light.
Hold on. Let me get that.
You need a flashlight. There you go. Oh yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
See if it has Frankenstein and vampire.
Yeah.
Killer. That's Killer Croc.
Yeah, Killer Croc, and some other shit. And it's crazy.
Hell yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Did that would have been perfect too. But the Frankenstein in it, this guy is like hardcore. He has his own team, is like the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's crazy.
Oh yeah. Fucking
with the Creature Commandos, yeah.
Wait, look at this shit. Oh wait, nah, but yeah, there's DC Superman plans they've got for what do you call well, this summer we've got some Lobo shit happening, multiple Lobos. We've got let's see, House of Brainiac, Superman comics, As unlikely as it may seem, there's even more happening beyond an invasion of uh, Zarnians this May, as General Zod and his offspring continue to get up to no good with their individual titles. The Fifth Dimension gets overrun by an impossible bad guy in World's Finest. And some truly classic material gets listed for collection this summer. You've got Metropolis this May. There's DC's Superman family of titles this month. Action Comics number 1065. You've got Superman number 14 with Lobo. There's some dope covers, man. Well, the dope cover with him and Lobo sort of ready to punch each other is dope. Power Girl number 9 with butt naked ass shots.
Shit getting crazy.
Dog, look.
They're going all out for the damn covers. This is the cover battle. Oh yeah.
They're serious.
Yeah. They're going all out for the covers. They already know.
Hey, this is what Dwayne McDuffie was talking about when he tried to release his issue of Static on the couch. Remember the issue of Static on the couch and he was kissing his girl and they had a package of condoms? At the time, DC was releasing content like this, but not letting real life issues into their comics.
Yeah.
They're
wilding.
They wilding, dog. Fucking, this is dope.
Oh yeah, that's a dope cover.
Yeah, that's Superman number 14. It's Power Girl 19. They got Superman, Batman, World's Finest. It's a dope. I like these
ensemble. The comic like covers.
With everybody
characters.
Yeah, there's Bane and shit down there.
Sinestro, Catwoman,
Joker.
Look at Lex Luthor.
Look at Sinestro.
It's basically the Legion of Doom.
Yeah, Mongol.
Sinestro. I'm trying to look for Black.
Joker looks dope though.
Black Manta. Look, Black Manta in the back.
He's right next to Sinestro.
Yeah. Killer Rod, fucking Mr. Freeze, fucking Scarecrow, or Frost. What the fuck's his name? There's Penguin, Mad Hatter, Riddler. Fucking Joker looks dope though, dog. Bane down there. Yeah, Joker.
Wait, is that Bane or what's that?
That's Bane at the bottom corner down here.
Batmite. That looks like Batmite a little bit.
Looks like Batmite a little bit. He got what you call it? What's the one with he got the Joker fish right there in his hand is the Joker, and then he got Metallo right next to him.
Oh yeah, Metallo.
And that's great. Oh, that looks wild right there.
That's wicked. Yeah, that's wicked.
Yo, that's heavy. Yeah. These guys going all out for these damn covers. God dang.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I like that one right there.
Like that. Hell yeah.
That looks sick, man. That one is pretty cool. It's decent.
Yeah, it's like old classic, like 1930s Batman.
Yeah.
Man, this shit here. But yeah, they got some dope shit coming out. What else? Oh, Kneel Before Zod. So this is the new Zod shit.
Yo.
Kneel Before Zod, bro. Zod got his own comic. Look at that shit. Speaking of John Jang, there goes John Jang right there.
Great.
Jang Zod. I didn't know he did that, man. I gotta talk to my boy, man. I just talked to him yesterday about. No, I talked to him today about his Iron Man comic. I was like, bro, and
because I crazy with it.
I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the Iron Man comic. I'm like, it's not on the website, and he told me a couple places where I could get that shit.
Yo, he's crazy with the art, man.
Period. Dog, I need to hit him up about this Zod cover, dog.
That shit look crazy, bro.
My favorite cover of his is still Firefly. That's always
Yeah,
gonna be my favorite Jang
yeah,
cover.
yeah. My brother, he loves the Firefly. He loves the Storm Shadow with the cobra on his red cobra on his face.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're
So
all dope.
he sells these, or does it come with like a story, or is it just the cover?
Oh, he's a cover artist, John Jang.
Yeah, for the story, it's coming out.
Yeah, but he just does covers. He
Hmm.
doesn't do stories. He doesn't do like the inside art. He just does the cover.
Mm. You could tell he put wild time in his shit. It's multi-layered. The effects is crazy. He brings it through mad different.
He's definitely using a computer.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
Definitely.
started out with the regular shit, then he builds on it and build
Yeah,
and build.
yeah. All type of effects and shit he uses to
Mhm.
like doctor it up, make it dope.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
What's the next one? The next one is 2 or 3. What's the
oh,
third?
my bad, dog. I was over here doing something.
Yo, word. That was
Zod, and that's like classic shit.
yeah,
That reminds me, that's like Superman's father and Zod fighting.
yeah. Metropolis.
That's fucking his pops.
Oh, Krypton. Remember the I got the comics, the Krypton comics and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Wait, I'm lost. Who are they?
that's Jor-El and Zod.
yeah.
Why is he wearing that suit?
And that's just
That's
how
them
you.
on Krypton.
That's Krypton.
Yeah, that's them on Krypton.
Yeah, yeah. That's some Kryptonian garb.
Yeah.
Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the deluxe edition. So this is the movie they're making, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. What is this? Tom King. Is this just a remake? Okay, this is like this is a 8 issue hardcover. Yeah. So if you buy this right now, you'll have this is what the movie, the Supergirl movie that's going to be coming out in the next couple of years is going to be based on this comic, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King. This is issues 1 through 8 in a hardcover for
Mm.
$50. Her planet was destroyed, sent to Earth to protect her baby cousin who never needed saving, forever living in his shadow, the Supergirl to his Superman. But when Kara is sought out by an alien seeking revenge on those who destroyed her world, everything changes. She will need to embark on a mission across space to find herself, defy her pasts, and face her future. From Tom King and bcuz Evely comes a character-defining cosmic masterpiece for the ages. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow Deluxe Edition collects the complete saga 1 through 8 and features a brand new introduction by Tom King, a brand new cover by bcuz Evely, and never before published alternate script for issue number 6, and a treasure trove of behind the scenes artwork from Evely. I might buy this, dog. Like
Mm.
this, if they do, if they really, I mean, this is what they're adapting, and that's why I'm excited because James Gunn is dope with the cosmic shit, dog.
Yeah.
He's dope with the cosmic shit. And this is some cosmic shit. This whole story, it's like some Guardians of the Galaxy type shit, right?
And see, and that's what they haven't done with Superman
Yeah.
himself.
I
Like
want to see
they
more
come away
cosmic
from Earth.
Superman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take them away from Earth. Let them go to another galaxy and shit.
Word.
Deal with some other shit, you know? I mean, I know
Exactly.
they got the Green Lantern for that, but still, Superman was all the way out in other galaxies and shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
he
know,
was.
for real.
That's my favorite shit about Superman, the space shit. So
Yeah.
that's always been my problem too with Superman movies. They keep it always real basic. It's like doing a Spider-Man movie and just having them go after purse snatchers.
Yeah. Why
Like,
everything had to come to Earth? Why can't
yeah.
he just go out there and be like, "Oh, word, I heard some shit going out, going down out here.
Going down.
Let me
Yeah.
hear that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Same with
man.
Marvel. Same with Marvel. A lot of stuff they try to keep it to Earth, but yo, that's why
Guardians of the
Guardians of the
that's the best.
Galaxy is so great.
Yeah, that's their best shit. Fucking,
Mhm.
when they went. I mean, the Chitauri and Thanos and all of that, but I mean, when they really went out there with Guardians, that's my favorite shit.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I want to see. That makes me want to see some Howard the Duck shit. Some fucking. I want to see a movie about the collector.
Ooh,
That would be crazy.
I'd rather have a TV show like The Collector.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Like his travels and how he collected all these different beings and shit.
Yeah, always every episode finding some new shit.
Hell yeah.
That'd
Or
be crazy.
losing some new shit.
Right.
Finding and losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having to protect his collection, all kinds of shit you could do.
Like the one time he tried to collect the Hulk or something.
Yep.
How was he trying to do that?
Because he's crazy, dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll collect anybody. But what else we got? Superman by Kurt Busiek, book 1. This is another $50 book. Yeah, this collects Action Comics number 837 to 843 and Superman number 650 to 658, Superman Man of Steel number 5, Superman Secret Identity 1 through 4, and World's Finest Comics number 308 and 309. So it's a fat chunk of book. And acclaimed writer Kurt Busiek brings his own unique spin of nostalgia and heroism to the Man of Steel in this new series of hardcovers featuring stunning art by Stuart Immonen, Pete Woods, Renato Guendes, and more. Book 1 collects all these fucking shits. I don't know. Are they all by him? No, written by Kurt Busiek and Jeff Johns. Yeah, it's Jeff Johns. Yeah, I mean, Action Comics number 837 to 843. That's not hell of old. Like right now they're on issue 1000 and something. So this is 200 and something issues ago. Okay. So, it's some time ago. Maybe the 90s, I think.
Yeah, the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Crazy. Oh, let me see. They on motorcycles. Yo, that's crazy.
Which one? Oh, this?
He's on a bicycle.
He's on a bike.
Yo.
Word.
That's crazy.
Word.
That's crazy.
Oh, shit. All right, y'all. We gotta go. I gotta call it a night. But yo, we'll be back Monday, man. It was great having y'all, man. It's great to have you, Black Heroes Club. You rarely come on, so it's always great to see you.
Yeah. Indeed. Don't be afraid to get those comics, man. Smell those comics. Look at the pages, bro.
Word. And
I do it all the time, bro. I do it all the time. I go in a comic shop. I'll be like,
hell yeah. Nothing smells better. That old comic smell.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all, man. Be safe, be easy. Oh, almost forgot.
Some new pickups.
No.
You gonna drop? Yo.
We forgot to do our entry in the encyclopedia. So last Saturday, every Saturday we do an entry. We learn something new about DC. We hit up the encyclopedia and we learn the next entry in the alphabet. And we still on the A's. We did Argus. All right, so we looking at we did All-Star Squadron yet?
No. I think we ended with the Argus group.
Yeah.
They were like the shield for the DC universe, right?
Yep. Good memory. Man, where's my fucking shits? Where my shits?
Uh-oh.
Where my shits? Oh. My shits.
Now it's encyclopedia time with Reno.
Story time. Yes. Masterpiece Theater. All-Star Squadron debut Justice League of America Volume 1 number 193. August 1981, the All-Star Squadron Volume 1 number 1, September 1981, based the Trilon and Perisphere, New York City. Powers and abilities, many and various. employed by every World War II American hero and mystery man, United States in defense of liberty and democracy against the Axis powers. Allies are the Blackhawks. Enemies are Adolf Hitler, Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, Baron Blitzkrieg, Ultra Humanite, Per Degaton, and enemy spies. Affiliations are the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the U.S. War Department. The All Stars and Stripes, when Earth 2 needed them most, America's mystery men and masked heroes banded together to answer the call. I mean, these are. Yeah, these are like the fucking. This is the old school team. This is the all. You have fucking Plastic Man over here. You got the original Green Lantern, the original Dr. Fate, Hawkman, all of these dudes. Fucking in times of crisis, the All-Star Squadron was shaken to its core when the crisis instigated by Cosmic Destroyer, the Anti-Monitor, reconfigured the multiverse. As a result, history was rewritten, and heroes such as Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Arrow ceased to exist on Earth 2, and this left a leaner, meaner squadron to battle Hitler's hordes. When President Franklin Delano Roosevelt received warning of an imminent Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, he sent out urgent call to newly consulted Justice Society of America, the JSA. Unfortunately, the JSA had been ambushed by an association of enemies from their own future and were unable to respond. However, with heroic big guns unavailable for duty, a number of other patriots who had begun fighting in masked heroes responded to the president's desperate pleas. So this is like a team of like vigilantes who weren't the main DC heroes at the time. You ever saw that movie Mystery Men?
Yeah.
Like fucking what's his name? Adam
Sandler. No, not Sandler. The dude that did the
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, not John Stewart. Fuck, why can't I think of his guy name? Ben Stiller. Fuck.
Ben Stiller, yeah. I was thinking about his father.
Jerry Stiller. Yeah. Fucking balls models. Ballstein. But yeah, however, with their heroic, what is it? This loose umbrella organization comprised of Justice Society. Oh no, I skipped some shit. Oh yeah, coming together in the wake of the Japanese attack and led by Liberty Bell and Hawkman, a battalion of new heroes formed the All-Star Squadron. This loose umbrella of organization comprised of Justice Society, 7 soldiers of victory and freedom fighters, as well as various non-aligned mystery men. Their joint mission was to defend America until victory was achieved. When World War II ended, the All-Star Squadron was duly disbanded. The costume champions' overwhelming firepower might well have ended World War II early, but for a mystic barrier that covered every inch of Axis-controlled territory. This arcane curtain served to enthrall any magic-based and susceptible hero, turning them into slaves of the aggressor nations. That movie Mystery Men might. Damn, it's literally based on this shit. It's saying mystery men, like in quotation, and
could be. Yeah, the character, Our Man, right there. Yeah, you have the Our Man. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
That's but it's a lot of. But yeah, that's it. Next Saturday will be Abracadabra.
Word.
But yeah, y'all, it's been DC Power Hour. We'll see you guys in a couple days on Monday. We're having a big Mutant Monday special. So Monday we're gonna go deep dive into X-Men. We're gonna talk about Mutant Monday. We're gonna talk about the X-Men 97 show. And just before we go, let's check out the fucking Invincible 2 trailer.
Cool.
We're not the best superhero team on the planet. We're a family. And like any family, we're all messed up in our own unique way.
I can't. Oh, you putting it on screen. I haven't seen it. It's not on screen.
Hang on, let me. There we go.
All right, cool.
Behold, behold,
My man,
behold,
like Skeletor.
Behold, y'all.
We're a family. And like any family, we're all messed up in our own unique way. We go around saving lives while ruining them at the same time. We will rebuild one. Count on that. Your people must need your strength. I'm sure they got it covered. Behold! Unlimited crumble!
Skeletor!
Mm-hmm.
Unlimited power.
No. Mark, I need you to go to space again. What? I just got back. We got a ship full of those secular things coming in hot. If they get their tentacles on the Earth, they'll be pulling our strings forever. We told you we were too powerful. I guess we're all fucked.
Yo, this. Hold on. That shit when he said that was some that's what Palpatine said, right? Was it Palpatine? Unlimited power. Who was that?
Yeah. Well, I think
that was Palpatine. Yeah, that was Palpatine.
Yeah, Emperor Palpatine when he's telling them.
Yeah.
Crumble before my unlimited power. No. I need you to go to space again. What? I just got back. We got a ship full of those secular things coming in hot. If they get their tentacles on the Earth, they'll be pulling our strings forever. We told you we were too powerful. I guess we're all fucked. How did a mere moment on Earth turn you into a weak, sentimental traitor? Answer me. What's the occasion for such a fine suit? I'm visiting an old friend.
Hell yeah.
It is good to be home. Die fast, assholes! My pizza's getting cold. Your family's legacy is blood.
Oh,
wow.
This is over. I'll never let anyone ever hurt my family.
Yeah, great. Nice.
That's crazy.
That shit is really crazy.
There.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the mutants and the X-Men 97 show Monday. We'll be back, man. But have a good weekend, man. Y'all be safe, man, and y'all know what it is. Peace.
Peace.